just spoon. You provoke them up, just spoon. Yeah, just spoon. If you eat you let my brother just spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, just spoon. Yeah, just spoon. You want to get a loose of it, just spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kiribaba, kiribaba, kiribaba. Kiribaba, kiribaba, kiribaba. What I want? It's not too bad today. TV. It's not too bad today. Spoon TV. Spoon. Ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba. Di-di-di-di-da-ba-do. Spoon entertainment. Kua. And your boy right in the South Bend, projects on the beach. On the phone to get your information. On the phone to get my Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. You just spoon, you ain't know. If the children crying for starvation, just don't spoon. You want to get a news update, right? Don't spoon. You want to know what is happening more, don't spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just don't spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, don't spoon. Yeah, don't spoon. Yeah, don't spoon. You provoke them up, don't spoon. Yeah, don't spoon. If you eat you let my brother don't spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, don't spoon. Yeah, don't spoon. You want to get a loose of it, don't spoon. Yeah, Rastafari. Kiribaba, kiribaba, kiribaba. Kiribaba, kiribaba, kiribaba. What I want? It's not too bad today. TV. It's not too bad today. Spoon TV. Spoon. Ba-da-ba-di-ba-di-ba. Di-di-di-di-da-ba-do. Spoon entertainment. Kua. On the phone to get your information. to get your information. For the food to be connection. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to just for you and know. The children crying for salvation, just to just for. You want to get a news update, my brother, to just for. You want to know what is happening, my brother, to just for. Politicians want to make their decision, just to just for. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to just for. Yeah, to just for. Yeah, to just for. You provide them, Maryland, to just for. Yeah, to just for. Every kept you like my brother, to just for. You got a small TV, you got a small radio, to just for. Yeah, to just for. You want to get a news update, to just for. Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got it. Yes, what you got it. Spoon TV. Spoon Yes, with the spoon and your boy trying to South Bend. On the beach. A pleasant good evening to everyone across the world. Thanks for joining us. We are here again live across the Spoon Network with another edition of the program Spoon Talk. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Spoon Talk is back on the radio. This is where we bring you the news, the updates, the analysis, bring you up to speed with the happenings across the country. This is where you get to hear Liberians speak on different issues that are of national interest. And Spoon Talk, we're live on Spoon FM 107.5, on Fabric Radio 101.1, and we're also live across the country on several other frequencies. Thanks to our partner radio stations who are making sure that we are relayed. Thanks to Trust FM in Bombay County, Premier FM in Bunk, Trend Radio in Grand Crew, Radio Yalamani Seklipi in Nimba County, Bashu FM in Wiala, and a host of other radio stations across the country for always relaying the program. I want to say thanks to our many followers online. Thousands of you troop in here every single day at about this time to get to know what's happening across Liberia. I want to, in a very special way, welcome all of you joining us live on Spoon TV right now on Facebook. It's Fabric TV on Facebook. or Super TV on Facebook. We say thanks for joining us. Thanks to all of the folks joining us on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live, our YouTube handle. We want to welcome you as well. This is one edition of Spoon Talk you don't want to miss for anything. Do us a favor as you join us tonight. Kindly share the program, share the show across your different social media handles. Let's have a great show. Let me recognize a few of you joining us in the comment section already. See Emmanuel Foucault is here tonight. Waymond Twe has joined us as well from Mount Point. Per Kimber, thank you for joining us as well. We appreciate you. Michael Wama, thank you for joining in. Fatu Richardson, I see Jerry Savani, Natana K. Hill, Maya Tridi, thank you for joining us tonight. And Mohammed Dakiti Kaba, thank you for joining us from Zulu Whiskey, you say. That's Sweju in Grangeda County. From Gompa City, Ado Wonder is joining us tonight. Tipples Dempster is coming on as well. I see Amara B. Conan, Madless Love, okay, now it's moving fast. Mustafa Lam, Winston Cooper, Nat Godin, Sam Jackson, and the many of you joining us tonight. We appreciate you for coming on. Just keep sharing the program as you join us. It doesn't matter where you are. Spoon Talk is right at your doorstep, on the radio, on your TV, on your computers, even on your smartphones. You can catch us and form part of the national discourse here. Panda Bash, then we'll go to the phone lines. Kaifala Kanen, Ganiye Roberts, Ibrahim Peter, Justina Conan, Joshua Towe, Joseph Kamara, thank you for joining us tonight. Patrick Yeman from Cardwell, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. Let's have a great show. My name is Nelson Colette. James Seta Yasa Wida Kokolo. Ina Denny. Tiafa Besa. Si Vafi Isen. So let's go to the phone lines now and hear from you. As we always do on the first segment of the program, we get to hear from you, our listeners or viewers. We dedicate the first segment of the program to you so that you get to tell us exactly where you are, where you're joining us from, and the different issues that are of concern to you. My own dear big brother J. Tasso Robert, thank you for joining us. Yes, so we go to the phone lines. Take your calls now. 0555-101075 is the number to call, and you'll be live on the program tonight. 0555-101075 is the number to call, and you'll be live on Spoon Talk tonight. On the first segment of the program, we get to hear from you. Just anything that is of concern to you, be it about the health sector, education, political issues, the economy, whether the religious issues in the country, just anything. You are the ones setting the agenda at this point. We hand the microphones over to you so that you get to say what those issues are that are very, very much of concern to you. So 0555-101075. I will activate a WhatsApp number so we get to hear from you by means of WhatsApp as well. So let me go back to the phone lines and start to take your calls, beginning with this person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you joining us from?
My name is Everton George from Portugal.
What's on your mind, sir? Let's hear you.
Nothing is on my mind. I just want to congratulate you people for this program. I'm a Portugal also. Thank you very much for the program.
Thank you for your input. We appreciate you as well. We go back to the phone line 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you call from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, hello, I'm JT. I'm calling Chigizu Factory, Kanoze.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Yeah, what is on my mind here? Hello?
Yes, you are live, sir. Let's hear you.
Hello?
You are live on the show. Let's hear you, sir. You can hear me?
Hello?
Okay, sorry. I think you have to change your location. Hello, you are live. Your name and where you joining us from?
Hello, good evening to school assembly and good evening to my peace-loving people of the Republic of Liberia and good evening to you, Joe, brother Nancy, Collect Institute in Liberia. By the way, the introduction, I'm Alfonso A.S. Camara. I do join this conversation this Christmas, Tuesday evening for my peaceful residents to be persuaded transformer community within district number 10 relatively old.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
tell us what's on
Let me
your mind quickly,
go
sir.
to the issue, to the under discussion. My concern have to deal with the drugs issue. Let us take the drugs issue very serious as a nation, as a people. Our future leaders are spoiling, are damaging themselves. They are dying day by day, every day. So I urge three entities who are responsible to help us in this fight. Just as LDEA, the Labrador Drugs Enforcement Agency, also the Labrador National Police, they go for the arrest. And also, Ministry of Justice, they there to prosecute and bring justice to the table to the Labrador people. So I'm urging them, there is a several liberties for all of us to take a bold step to speak against the ill in the society. The drugs issue is a serious alarming next thing. And then, when we really serious to fight drugs, it should be accountability or Peter Dodo. It should be accountability or Dominic Molu and others. So it's so important in our society. Every day our brothers are dying. If you listen to Kabao show, it's a serious killing. Drugs are killing our brothers. It's a nature. We cannot fight against it, but we can portray it. So thank you for the show.
Thank you for your input. 0555-101075. Hello.
Hello, Nathan. Yeah, Nathan, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Nathan. My name is Josh Mova for GS0.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh. What's on your mind?
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Every day we listen to you, Nathan. I got two things on my mind, but the first one, I want to appreciate President Barker. And President Barker, please, we can listen to everything you can see. But those people, they ask President Barker, please, let it go say that they want, they let it go say that to rest. And number two thing, what kept that baby? I want kept that baby, I want how money. Say now the point I did him. Say, we enjoy it. I want to say President Barker, please, tell your people, come for that. That the issue they had to be on every day. Who when I kept that baby because that people who forget about that thing because our resources they take the money they carry they do different way but when I kept that baby but the type of money now so big I kept that baby now it's so do something for the Labrador people. But please President Braga, please take action. Who forget about kept that baby. So thank you so much, Nelson.
Thank you for your input tonight. This person, hello. You're live. Let's hear you.
Hello, see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this Oscar Zibwen calling from Barcelona country.
Oscar, what's in your mind?
Yeah, next thing what on my mind have to do with the local leadership, local government leadership of Nimba County. Next thing, Liberia belongs to all Liberians. But it baffled me when Honorable Musa Belete was launching his party in Senekole. He invited all his elders within this county. The elder went and they spoke, they endorsed leadership of Muslim Belete Party. But to almost surprise, the elder returned on Sunday. They received a call for the Sultan of Nimba County, threatening the elder that when those on government payroll, when they're not going to retract that statement, they're going to take them from the payroll. The elder was full to appear on Radio Gompa to condemn what they did in Senekole.
Okay.
You know, next thing I want to tell the leadership of Nimba County, government is for all Liberians. It's not for one person. And we are not going to run this country for only one party. There's no monopoly government. One say,
so say one, so say all. Thank you.
So let that move from their mind. Liberia for all Liberians. So
thank you.
They should not be threatening our elder in the country.
Thank you for your input tonight. We appreciate you. I see the CEO has joined us. CEO, good evening to you, sir.
Nelson Collette. Nelson. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. You know, today Tuesday, Nelson, what usually I do on Tuesday? What do I do?
Bible study.
Bible study. So I got to come early. Then I go to Bible and say, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Guess what? I'm teaching Bible study tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It means that the message already prepared, the theme, the text.
Oh yeah. Jesus walked on the water. Jesus walked on the water. Yes. But something happened, Nelson, right? So Jesus walked on the water, right? Mm-hmm. Peter tried to walk on the water and he couldn't go that far.
Peter fails.
You know, I just want to understand. Listen, guys, welcome to the show. Share the show. So Jesus walked on the water. Jesus was walking. Then Peter said, And listen. Then what happened? Peter thought in himself, first of all, he thought he saw a ghost. Mm-hmm. But when he realized that it was Jesus, he said, but I want to try that thing too. So many people want to try something that ain't able. Power study will be interesting today. So many people want to try something they ain't able. But then guess what happened? Peter took the first step, believing that he could. But then his faith began to drop. His faith began to just go lower. Hey, Peter, imagine, look at me, I'm walking on the water. My head will be up high. My faith will never drop. My faith will never go low. I will walk on that water. And that's what happened. So I don't know if it's you. I don't know if you're walking on your water, but you're losing faith. I don't know. So many people in the country today losing faith.
The political angle of that scripture.
No. We keep this spiritual. I'm going today to have Bible study. You can come and join me, right? If you're in the area, come and join me. But so many people are losing faith. Listen. But I said people, so many people are losing faith. Because we were looking up to the hills when coming our help. But then what happened? So many people today, like Peter, lost his faith. And then he was about to sink. And Jesus stretched forth his hand to save him. So many folks today, they are losing faith, Nelson. They are losing faith in the system. They are losing faith in the government. And I'm seriously. So many people. But there's a good part in the scripture that say there's always hope for the hopeless. But how many people are hopeless today? I'm not a political preacher, but this is everyday life. People are losing faith. People are losing faith in the system. You know how many people trusted Joseph Human Boycott? You know how many people? But you know how many people say, you kill my man, you kill my pa, I will walk through the poo-poo water. You know how many people? So many people today, they are saying, I will do this because JMB have 40 some more years experience. They say even the Papa can be sleeping, he will make one of the biggest decisions and the country will be transformed. But what happened today? Patrick says CEO cool down. Yeah, let me work for this show. Listen, I'm getting in that momentum because Bible study is going to be great today. But to tell you the truth, Nelson, people are losing faith. People are losing it. That the country is so high. People begin to think within themselves, what's going on? We thought President Biden was coming to transform. But go ask them today. Even youths are complaining. It ain't able. But you say how some of them that still believe, though, right? You say how some people that stay hanging on. They stay hanging on. They stay, they still believing. But how long can the people believe? How long will the people be hopeful for? We heard information today that Mama Payan, or Ma Payan, the president of the university, probably she considering resigning. Nelson, we're going to discuss this issue today. And you know my Mama Payan?
Yeah, Mama
the university president? Mama Payan, the woman said she got to come back to the state. She considering resigning. Because no hair, no tay at the UL. The people out there know. It's going to be a great show today. We got Edwin Snow coming on. Edwin Snow coming again, though. Edwin Snow is coming again. Nothing. I will say to you, make no mistake. People are beginning to be more hopeless. Nelson, people are losing. People just say they can't believe the system anymore. I don't know what's going on. People say, well, CEO, that young man, yeah, I made you vote for President Braga because I must say I believe President Braga. And thank you for listening to me, Nelson. Yeah, I made you, yeah, I back you. I said, please vote for the pape. Yeah.
I voted for. Nobody know who I voted for. CEO.
Nelson, vote for the pape, man. I know you voted for the pape. Yeah. I saw your voting card, Nelson. You showed to me. Yeah, man. No, you voted for Pape. I agree. We all voted for the Pape. But I'll tell you what, though. We did. You know why? Because JMB, I still believe. JMB said he still possesses that experience credential. But JMB brought some of the worst people in the government that is so discouraging and messing the government up. And you know, if people say, don't put my brother Nelson on the Twitter. Nelson voted for JMB, man. I know who all voted for JMB. I can tell you right now, Nelson voted for JMB.
I voted, but my vote is my secret. Or my vote, yeah,
okay,
my vote is
I will show your voter card when you check yet to JMB and JKK. I will show it to the people because you took the picture. Again, I want to say to all of you, it's good that you're coming. Snow will be in the house. I was telling you, it's going to be listen. It's going to be one of your best programs ever today. Trust me. You know why? Because Snow coming to say a lot of stuff. And I don't know. I hate when somebody can tell me, say, CEO, you know what? I want to run for president. What do you think? No, don't tell me that. It's not the time that you want to run for president. Tell the Liberian people what you think, how we can change this country. I beg hundreds of thousands of Liberians to vote for President Bouakai. Hundreds of thousands. I beg them. But guess what happened? Guess what happened? Am I still hopeful? Should I answer that question, Nelson?
Yeah.
I still hopeful. Do I think that President Bouakai will take us to that promised land in his lifetime? Am I still hopeful? Do I think President Bouakai is that Moses or that Joseph that will go into Egypt and get the children of Israel saved from starvation? Am I still hopeful? And that's why I came on the show earlier to talk to you. Am I still hopeful? So share the show. Philip Bala, am I still hopeful? I don't know. I'm going to answer the question tonight. Am I still hopeful? Do I still believe in President Bouakai? You know, Snow and myself having an argument today. I said, Snow, man, you guys messing up. And Snow asked me one question I couldn't answer. He asked me one question. And I said, Snow, I got to go. He started laughing. I will share the question with y'all. You know, he's a smart dude. But am I still hopeful? Are you still hopeful? When the president took 40 men and women on a trip that the president not even supposed to be there. All the leaders in Africa sitting the prime minister and the minister of tourism. Maybe President Bouakai get a reason of going there. What's the return investment? What's the benefit here? And we crack on the numbers. How much was spent on DSA, on hotel, on everything? I will share with you. My head was hurting today. I sat in the car, Nelson. I dropped my grandson to daycare. You know, as a matter of fact, they get a picking promotion. I think that school, that correct school. Every 2 months they can get a man promotion. I don't know what kind of daycare that. They get a picking promotion. And I was sitting there, I was thinking, what kind of school are they? They just gave them that free promotion. But I'm telling you, I was thinking about Liberia. And I was driving coming home, you know. And I was thinking about Liberia. And I was like, man, Imagine prior to 2023, everybody was fighting. I mean, let me straight up. I might stay hopeful that President Barker will deliver. I heard people saying, but it's too soon. 1 year, 8 months. It's too soon, though. How long you want us to wait to see something? How long you want us to wait? That's what I mean. Draw myself before you bring anybody on. I'm begging you. I mean, draw myself. Don't bring anybody on. I seen Councilor go in the bag now. He now wear his blue shirt. But I said, me, draw myself. Ain't bring the man on. A man of the interrogate me. Well, are you still hopeful? I mean, are you still hopeful though? Seriously. My brother Thomas Parker said things will get better. We pray. We got our finger crossed. Hope things get better. We are praying that things get better. If you are in Liberia, I want you to get out. If you're just visiting Liberia, just go to the marketplaces. Just go out. And just turn your camera on and go live and tell the people what you see. Just go out and just let me friend. Just go out. The country is hard. The country is tough. When I heard the news that Mama Payan from the Liberia University, LU or UL, is contemplating on resigning, I said, oh my God. That's what I mean. I said, oh Lord, oh God. And we woke up this morning, they're closing down National Election Commission headquarters. Can you imagine? Nelson, I saw your old man, David Eto Brown last night, she was asking for you. They're shutting the place down. When Gafran said he gave the people money, can you imagine? Then we asked Gafran, why you continue to lie to the Liberian people? They didn't pay the rent? Are we okay? You made all the big allocation. We'll put the budget to 1 billion. And now you're thinking about recasting the budget? You recast how many times last year? You're going to recast again. You're recasting. We will live on recast. No budget performance. No upturn. Everything that Vlad. Am I still hopeful? And welcome our sister Vera Harris, my dear sister. How you doing? Agustin Gonga. Agustin, how are you? Fatu Richardson, it's always good to see you, says Fatu. Edmond City, as always, Edmond, thank you. Sylvester Nikki Bestman, it's good to see you too. Joshua Weirga is here. Abraham Amara Donald, and many people joining us will call your name. But I begin to think within myself, when I watched the video, Abu Dukle, my man, thank you for joining us. Emmanuel Dix, Anthony Gay Sion. Hey, Anthony, what's up? Marcos Wolo, Nathaniel B. Chie, Mohammed Dosanon, Patrick Boyino Jala, Ben Cooper is in the house. Patrick Dwyer is joining us. Prince Say, Harry Pay, Alhaji Fofana, the Jacqueline Rivers. Hey, Sister Jacqueline, say you are coming, I'm waiting for you. Sekou Kanem, George, the team moving on the wood, Ebunte, Tita Dwyer, the T-Post, Piquet, Dempster, Kai is here as well. Henry P. Pade is in the house. Momo Tamamaris, Pauline Zion, are you still hopeful? The question remains, do you think this president will take us to that promised land? Are you still hopeful? Look what happened this morning. Probably you were working or you were asleep. Look what we are seeing. They're shutting down the National Election Commission headquarters. Close it for non-payment. Where is Augustine Pay Gafwan? You shut it down. Let's play the video. Let's listen.
Live here from the headquarters of the National Election Commission. So Sherry are here now, lacking this place. the sheriff had come to lock this place. I'm told the National Election Commission here owing a vendor some money for the work he did for them, and since then they have refused to pay the vendor.
Are you still hopeful the sheriff going to shut down, close down, lock down the National Election Commission party headquarters? The party headquarters. Can you imagine? Oh no, the rescue government. The last time we checked, Gafan said that he gave the people plenty of money. Our sources telling us that Gafan lied. He gave them audio money. Nothing to show. Let's go in the budget. Oh man, we gave you a beautiful show today. Are you still hopeful? Are we rescuing my people? Are we rescuing? My fellow Liberians, what's going on with this government? Don't tell me about CDC government. We kick them out. Don't tell me about CDC. I love my counselor when he said we shouldn't make the comparison anymore. We should find our way out of this mess. Don't tell me about CDC. I don't want to hear about CDC. I want to hear about UP government. What's the story? We got a new document coming up about LDA. The fighting just going up like crazy. A new development from LDA. The fight on drugs is over. It's fini. C'est fini. So this time when we speak, I will go back to the old school and be sharing documents with you. Because maybe if we share document, you'll understand. How much is the money? Counselor, welcome to the show. Let me enjoy ourselves before the other people come up, Counselor. That's the beauty of coming early. How you doing today?
I'm okay, man. Thank God. Nelson, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Council. I'm okay. It's good to see you.
Okay. Let me say hi to all of our viewers. Thank you, man. Yeah, all is well.
You are welcome, my dear friend and brother counselor. It's always good to see you. Edwin Mervyn Snow is coming. He will be our guest. We'll talk issue of national concern. I want to say to all of you, my fellow Liberians, go on YouTube right now and share it. Go on Facebook and share it. Tell somebody that we're here. I'm just asking a question, Edmond Zizi. You know, I know my CDC brother, them ready calling me to support them. I told them no so many times. That I supported Joseph Yiman Boaga because I believe him. That's why you're laughing. You calling me too. A little your sedition.
But the little secret, the man tell you, the man will not tell you any secret again.
I want a secret. The man behind me, oh, I'm a support CDC. I said no. I support CDC. Hey, no. But I just support the Liberian people. I just saw that President Boaga was the main man. He was the man to help our country. Seriously. I read it, I believe it though. But what's happening? What have changed? What have changed? If you hear what's happening about the budget, if you hear what's happening in our country, if we start putting this through on my people, I can double dare you and guarantee you, these guys then will get reason to say, you know what, let's shut down Stanton. But we gotta do it. We gotta do it. We have to do it. Poor performance. We have to do it. Counselor, what's on your mind? You briefing on me. Are you hungry? Are you tired? I never get tired, Counselor.
No, I mean, Stanton, just that Liberia, our common denominator, facing difficulties. We're seeing the hardship and all the challenges government facing. I think maybe the president needs to sit down and maybe I think the president needs a talk show. I think he needs a talk show.
The president should open your own podcast
Yeah,
now.
I think he needs to talk.
And ask the Liberian
No,
people,
what I'm
right?
saying, he need to appear. Yes. Then listen. Don't forget about the the notes that will be filed before him, the reports, and all the good news from his supporter. I mean, from his ministers, the advisors. Then he just listen to the Liberian people. Maybe he'll have a change of mind. Maybe if you have what called summer cast or whatever it is, all the radio station, the president can take 2 hours and just listen to the people calling in from different angles. I think it will help him make some some quick decisions on turning things around. Maybe I just think so.
Yeah.
But today I posted something. I posted something in the chat room about somebody posted about the salary.
Yeah, I got that down. We'll discuss it. I saw that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so but somebody else said no, it's not true. But I know we'll discuss it as we go.
We'll discuss it. We'll come out and say whether that's true or not.
Those are some of the things that are on our mind, and I didn't end it. I will not end the show tonight. I just want to be here for 1 hour because I have a very tight engagement tomorrow. So yeah, I need to rest sooner.
Yeah, you're not going to rest. Man. Just tell the Liberian people the truth. Man. You're that secret business too much.
I mean, I beg you, man, don't give me a hard time, please. I got work to do. So, but whatever the case is, I'm here tonight. Whatever discussion that will come up within the 1 hour time, we'll discuss it. But I think yesterday.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Well, let me just ask you the question because we went into the call-in time. Is this your expectation, Councillor? When we came with that strength of rescue, when we came running and say if you stay in front of the train will crush you. We came with that rescue message. And we just came to deliver. Is this your expectation?
Let me be real frank tonight. The only surprise that I got from this government is on the rule of law. That was the only surprise. All of what happened is not surprise. I knew it was going to happen.
Why? Why, Councillor?
Why? We on the show. Just tell
them. Why?
I was in opposition. I was in opposition up to the runoff election. I know what they said. Let me tell you something. They said when you want no politician can talk the truth, they don't get drunk. It's on the drinking table that you can know politician. You will know the true color of a person, because on that drinking table, when they're drunk, now they can talk anything they say on that drinking table are true. And when you sit with the colleagues, you sit to people, you hear the plans, you hear what they want to do. And you say, but then rather we just try to get these people moving, and then maybe we can fight to adjust, but we cannot go back to do the same thing. I was in opposition. So the only thing I did not think that the old man would have fallen to the point where the rule of law would be compromised. That was the only surprise. But every other thing, because I knew the CTND would not be changed. I know the METEC could not be changed. I know the harmonization could not be changed. I knew several other things you couldn't change it because.
But let's put this together here, right? And guys, continue to share the show. We come early to do this conversation because I get a big Bible study coming up. I'm going to preach about Peter walk on the water from different angle. You are invited to come join us to Bible study, or you can follow us online. But let me say this to you, Counselor. It is important to know that you say you knew that nothing was going to be changed, and you were broken because, you're a legal man. So to go against the rule of law, it hit you. Why do you think that? Why that hit you so hard? Understanding that we have 12 years of President Barker as vice president at the time. Is that the reason that he couldn't squat, he couldn't change, he couldn't bend the rule of law?
No, yeah, I just think that, you know, as a person, I think that the way that the law was played with, I think it was too deliberate. You know, I didn't see, yeah, you know, it was so deliberate to the point that even at the point where the Supreme Court will rule, you know, and then the leader will be talking about finding a way to bend it. I mean, that did not get to me. Yeah, ready. You know, I knew that there were some political decisions that would be taken against the law, but when the court rules, you know, I would think that what you will submit. But even in the issue of the tenure position, you know, I mean, really I was disappointed. That was when the issue of the rule of law, I was disappointed. I didn't think the violation, the disrespect, and will happen at that level. Yeah, I know presidents can take tough decisions at times to test it, but when the court, comes up, then they back off. But where the court will come out and then still find a way to bend it, then disappoint me. All these other things that go on, I didn't see any. I knew there would not be much of a change. I was there. I had the conversation.
I am where I am tonight, right? And we got to tell the Liberian people the truth. And I want to ask them, well, I mean, their disappointment. President Braga came to power. He appointed the Justice Minister, Finance Minister, Foreign Minister, National Security, and I think the EPS Director. If I'm not mistaken, prior to or so before the chief of staff. I will go back and make sure. And that thing began to crumble so fast. The war started. I really want to know, do you think President Boaga really in the know of what is happening in the government? Do you think President Boaga really in the know? You think President Boaga is running this government as President Boaga?
Well, standing to say otherwise would mean that you're questioning down the ability, the mental capacity, the strength of the presidency to say otherwise. So I will still think that the president is running the country, except that maybe he's only depending on what his people, his advisors, and his lieutenants will say to him than what the ordinary people are going through. And many presidents are gone through the same thing. You really think the advisors will go in the morning and go tell the president, say, oh, the country high? Oh no. Say everything is good. The roads are good. You can see now the people going to Maryland County, they're taking this will take 1 day, now they're taking 5 hours. Mr. President, you are doing well. Yeah, you clap your hand. But to take the goods from Maryland County to bring it to town, the people can buy it. And, the president does not know that the people don't have money in their pocket. You understand? Even the few costs.
So let me follow what you're saying. Do you think the president know that? Because he said it in one of those issues and he brought in Jeremiah Kono Summer, man, let me know what's going on, why inflation rate is hard. Do you think President Boaga know that the country is so hard right now?
So he's getting to know it, I'm sure, because maybe he's listening to some talk shows. I'm sure apparently he's reading some newspapers, and he listened to some people, but some common people. During the past regime, excuse me, I also chat with the president. I also chat with President Weah. That is normal. And so sometimes I was sending text message and I would tell him, look, Mr. President, you need to move around in the morning and see your ministries and agency and see when people come to work. So you know what kind of a cabinet you have, who are actually working. I also sent a text message. I said, look, don't always listen to the people that around you. Listen, put your ears on the ground. Some of us, we're not gossiping. We are saying what we know. Listen to us, who on the ground. It will help. So I was telling you. So Where he listened. Well, I know one time that he did something that that I think was in the same land that we talked about. He made some tours at the schools, one or two schools in Montreal County. And there's some other things at one time there are some things that are sent to him that he acted on. But these are the kind of ways that Liberian leaders need to program themselves so they can know exactly what's happening. Hire your foot soldiers. Forget about these ministers. Yeah, they're there to help you. But let it the people.
Can you hear me? Or that Councillor Nelson, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm the one. Somebody drop them a call.
Okay.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
have a platform that the people can interact with you. They will give you they will tell you exactly what's happening in the country. So that's why I said the president needs a day. Maybe one time in a month or so. Just appear, just open a radio station. Let the people call. The people call from all over the country. Take 2 hours. That's part of their work. Take 2 hours and listen to the people. They are the one feeling the pain.
But the president have had over 10 cabinet meetings, right? Maybe 9 to 12 around there, right? What's the benefit? Simo.
That's what we're saying to you.
The president has set up so many committees. Councillor, the president has set up so many committees, right? I mean, what are the committees coming up with? Simo.
They're bringing the news to the president. Everything okay? Everything okay in the country?
I don't know. It's
so the president needs the bigger committee now. The president needs to put together a committee for the people. Let the president take just one day in the month. I'm saying even to 1 day in the month, and just decide to sit down and listen to the people talking, and hear what the Liberian people will say all over the country. It will help him. He will know exactly which minister is doing well, which director general is doing well. He will know exactly the issues in the country. He will know. He will hear it from themselves, and I think it will help. Because that's what we're getting now. Because
that's what I agree with you. Councillor, forget about the advisor. Who are the advisors to the president? Bushman Keita? Bushman Keita is a scam. Legally, that's your man. You will not say that to him because you guys are under the same umbrella, working in the legal field. I can say that. Kofi Woods, he's a joke. And I know Kofi Woods since childhood. He's a joke. The guys that have nothing to bring to the table but tell the president, say, Mr. President, you're looking good today. You dress well today. And that's it. Have you heard about Sajoni? Sajoni is my papa from Rhode Island. The papa just said that quietly. Mori Kamara? What Mori Kamara telling the president? Look at the biometric ID card issue. $44 million, something of that amount. Matera Cooper? Let's ask the Liberian people about this advisor. Let's ask them about the Justice Minister, Oswald Twain. Let's ask them about the Foreign Minister, Sarah Beslo Yanti. Let's ask them about the people that will sit in that room to make the 3 a.m. decision. Then we ask about the president. Do the president know how his people are suffering? How people going to bed hungry? Do the president know that teachers at the University of Liberia not getting paid? Do the president know that MCSS, volunteer teacher, as of today, they have not gotten paid? Do the president know that children going to bed hungry? Who's there telling the president? Do Joseph Yima Bwaka, Uncle Joe, I mean, what was the issue here? Can people come around and just tell us exactly what it is? Because we want to know. Does he know? Don't tell me about CDC. I tell you about CDC. To tell you the truth, Councillor, I want to hear about this government and the way forward. I want to make CDC history. I don't want to come on the show and people telling me, oh, oh, you CDC, they didn't do this. You are measuring yourself with failures. Because CDC failed, the people remove President Weah. Can the president tell us what this country going into another recast again? Can he tell us? Can the president tell us how much has been generated in the revenue on the double jala? Can President Baga tell us? Sit down and have an interview, open interview. Not prescribed questions. No. I mean, how long will people hide the president? How long will people cover him and tell his sweet words? Is the president running the country like the Totman, TWP time? No. We got to be innovative. We got to talk about now. And that's the question. Everybody said, we're not tall. We'll just go for the ride. Oh, it's a free train. You don't have to pay. Just jump in. We'll go for the ride. I mean, the Liberian people need to understand, where is President Bouaca's mindset on the suffering of the masses? President Bouaca going to bed happy? Is he concerned? Is he worried? What is he doing? What about Jeremiah Kuhn? You don't hear about Jeremiah Kuhn no more. Jeremiah Kuhn is quiet now. What's happening? Oh, we'll work in the back. We'll work in the back. Nothing. You work in the front, you work in the back, you work on the left, you work on the left, that's zero. So blah. I mean, people want to know what's happening. The Liberian people are eager to know. We are waiting. When will President Bouaca come to say, yes, my friend, we have hit the jackpot? Freeport contributed $15 to $20 million to the budget. Yes, a double Judiciary report. LPRC is doing great. We are collecting $60 million from LPRC. Double Judiciary, yes, a report. But every day, finance minister warning for scrum, leftover, D-hole, cover hole, and the people are suffering. Internal affair, people going home with $83 a month, and they're saying a paycheck. Where have we gone wrong, Councillor? You can name all the plenty advisors, my man. All they got them waiting for the paycheck and cutting deals. How can you have Ambassador Alash working pro bono? Who paying the transportation pro bono? Who paying the hotel pro? What kind of scam talk about pro bono? You make, how can America make ambassador and say go work, but we're not pay you? You open room for massive corruption.
The people love the country more than you must say that.
That's opening room for corruption. Pro bono ambassador Alash. Liberian people ain't stupid anymore. How do you think the man will buy a plane ticket? Pro bono. How do you think the man will go in a luxurious hotel? Pro bono. How do you think the man want to meet investor to bring them in the country? Pro bono. We're not paying you, but they're going to bring them. They are using the diplomatic passport to be corrupt. And they say they are pro bono. Come on, guys. This is real talk. Where have we gone wrong? We look at President Bouaca in the eyes. We look at him clearly. Go ahead, tell me what we've gone wrong. Then I'll tell you what I'm about to say. Talk to me.
We've gone wrong as a people because we don't believe in our country, but we believe in our parties. And until we can believe in our country, until we can see that people in government are not doing us favor, but because every one of us cannot serve at the same time, so they are given the chance or the opportunity to serve at a time. But every single dollar that is being spent belongs to every one of us equally. And if it is not spent well, we must question them. And when we question them, we should question them in one voice, regardless of which institution you come from. Then we'll put the country on the right path. But when we subject ourselves to party loyalty, to individuals, that to the extent that you will be suffering, but you will take telephone and call on the radio and say, everything okay in the country, the president doing well, the other president did well, this one doing well. That's why the country is the way it is. Loyalty to people, loyalty to party over the country. So we lack nationalism, we lack patriotism. And that is the reason why the country, that's why leaders come to power, they can do anything they want. People will be there to praise them. Other people will be there to castigate them because they themselves want to bring somebody in power too that they can praise. It's not about the country. So if we can just recalibrate as a people, we just take a check and say, hey, this money that was left in this house, it's like a father that travels. I will close on it. It's like a father that travels and he leaves the big brother to the house to take care. Every month he sends money to the big brother, or the big brother goes and shopping and buy things and come and make his brothers and his siblings in the house to believe that he is the one doing it. So they take him now as the breadwinner, whereas the father is working, sending the money for him to take care, and he is pretending as though that he's the one doing it. So that's how government looking at. We give you the opportunity, we give you the chance to use our resources for the better good of all of us. You want us to believe now that you're doing good for us. The lawmakers will go back to the people and behave that they're doing good. President, ministers will come and behave that they're doing good. Whereas the resources in the country that the management belongs to everybody equally. That is a mistake we made because we're loyal to party and loyal to people, not loyal to the country. That is our problem. All right.
Councillor, I will always come early on the show because I like the way in which we enjoy ourselves without interruption, without funny faces. We just enjoy ourselves. And I really do appreciate it. Once the bad people come on, we got to just adjust. People come with serious faces. I have to say the world is cracking down. Some of them took their trip to Canada. They enjoyed it. Said they come out on the show. They ain't smiling nothing. And, the one that enjoyed it said, but we ain't going anywhere. The people here, the masses are here. We want to welcome to the show Dr. Francine Special, Chinua Richardson. We're going to welcome Fubi F.A. Herrings and the Honorable Akara Stadekai Tomika Gray with the Moses in the middle. I want to welcome every one of you guys. Give us, listen, we're going to start here. Edwin Snow coming on today, by the way. He got a lot to say, and he will be joining us. I want to say thank you. Let's take another 5 minutes or 4 minutes to talk our own here. I was going ballistic on the president. I don't know where are you with this government. In your intro, I'm going to ask you the same question that Councilor and myself, we were going again. Guys, share the show. Let me recognize some of you. We really do want to welcome Jake Doran. It's always good to see you, brother Jake. We want to welcome Mona Klapla. I think that's the name. Jackie Match is here. Quebec Moba is here with Love LRB2. Kwashi Hayes. Zio Cattle Jinion Sati Taylor. Now listen, guys, you got to go and share the show. Asata Conan is in the house. Iyo White. My brother Iyo is here. I want to bring in Emmanuel Sunday. Helena Akibi. Muna Klape, I call your name already. Pakaman, Kroman, Priscilla Payne, Harlet, and Notet Yankon is the name. I'm going to bring in Fedebala. Kevin Kamara is here as always. Let's bring in more good people joining us. Joe Gode, Pakajala, Musa Konen, George Clady, Patient Davis. Just tell us where you're joining us from, please. That would be very, very good. I want to recognize your area. Benzema Benedict. Benzema not joining us again. That guy can give me a hard time. He's from Minnesota, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's him. Let me bring in Swad Mawia. Jerry Wild, some kind of name. I mean, I can't pronounce your last name. Okay, Kanga, Jerry Kanga. Sonin Doman Siki, Freeman Davis, Allison, Nyema Williams, Fode Kemu. Let's bring in all Fumba Sambi Sese. I will end with that name today. I want to say to all of you, thank you for joining us. Dr. Richardson, yes, the conversation. Let's just get into it. We gave you time to tell us about your trip in Canada. You're coming back with the red and blue and green shades again. That's okay. We'll get used to it. But I want to just tell you, Dr. Richardson, though, something strange is happening in Liberia. Let's talk as Liberia, not political party yet. I know you campaigned against Jose Yima Bwaka because we're on the show. I wanted Jose Yima Bwaka to win the election. Morning, afternoon, evening, night, we were talking about Jose Yima Bwaka. Beat your own judgment away. Dr. Richardson, to you, though you campaigned against Jose Bwaka, but you had a little hope. If I'm mistaken, tell me. Are you hopeless now? Are you convinced, or have you been re-energized, believing in yourself that you were right? The reason why you didn't vote Jose Yima Bwaka.
Yes, I do believe in myself, Stanton, that I was right, and I'm happily saying that, especially to you who campaigned so hard for Jose Yima Bwaka. I mean, he was not demonstrating the character or the skills or the knowledge of someone who stayed in government for 42 years. You can tell the experience and how someone behaved if they work in such capacity. He did not. You had to force him to come on the show to speak to the Liberian people. He now in government has surrounded himself with people that I'm not sure who have the experience to even deliver to the Liberian people. I was hopeful because I wanted Liberia to be a better place. I get so tired being in a country where every time I open my mouth and someone says I'm Liberia, and the only thing they know about Liberia is nothing. Okay, they know that, well, we produce a football player. That's all they know. They don't know about all of the wonderful things that we did. Like, we were founding members of the United Nations. Once upon a time, we supported other African countries to gain their independence. We are wonderful people, intelligent people. In fact, they get surprised about my intelligence when it comes to Liberia. But I knew, and I told you here, Stanton, that Jose Yima Bwaka spent years in government, okay? But he was not demonstrating. Even let's look at simple, where his last workplace of employment, as Minister of Agriculture. What is going on with agriculture in our country? He was at LPMC. What is going on with LPMC in our country? He championed being the father of making sure that our agriculture works in our country. And I dug up on the man. You know that. The whole rice deal, the rice business, although he was, it was in half of his term, it wasn't fully his responsibility when it came to bringing the PL, I think 487 rice or something into the country. And it's said that there was a lot of corruption involving that rice deal that he could have spoken out about. The same trouble we're having right now, he's not speaking out against the ills in our society. So yes, I'm happy to tell you, you champion, you encourage Liberians to vote for him, and I did not. In fact, this weekend, people are holding me responsible for what you did. When I went to say, you on Spoon, you champion this government and see what's happening to our people. And I said, you must not watch Spoon a lot because you don't know where my position, where I stood. And I'm glad we're having this conversation because I can reiterate where I stood when it came to that. From a psychological point of view, I think somebody said it, I have not seen assess Joseph Bwaka because it would be unethical if I come here and tell you about his cognitive ability, because I have to, test him, I have to assess him, I have to, physically examine him. But I can insinuate, because I've done this long enough, I'm experienced in this thing, to tell you that intellectually he's unable to run our country. It's just it's just not it's not adding up. He has not produced. He has not said anything.
Let me ask you a question, Dr. Richardson. Guys, so let's focus on Dr. Richardson, what she's saying, and then we'll give everybody the round here. Snow will be in the next 20 minutes, so but we're just going to squeeze this thing. Dr. Richardson, you say he's unable politically, unable. How? Why? Give me some. Give me something. That's your area.
Politically,
why are you saying he's unable?
Physically and politically. So if you are a president of a country, you pass a mandate, okay? You will make sure that you go out to different areas like education. We just saw in education that our students didn't do well on the Wyatt score. You will go to the education ministry, or you will call that education minister in and say, listen, XYZ happened in the country. Give me an explanation. Let's develop a plan. We have not heard anything. What is the direction of our country? That's what a leader is supposed to do. You lead the people in the country. You tell them, what is the roadmap of our country? This president is unable to do that. We've given him 2 good years. And I haven't said exactly how I felt because I was being hopeful for the Liberian people, not necessarily for this government. So you need to be able to,
wow, thank you. You guys
what is your roadmap? What is his roadmap for our country? Do you know, Stanton? Does anybody on this show?
You have the arrest agenda. The arrest plan right there.
Okay, and so there's a bunch of, it's an acronym for a bunch of words attached to it. That's what it is, arrest. Okay, agriculture, roads, and whatever the R stands for. I know education, somewhere sanitation, and tourism. So, do you know, have we done, let's take those things one step at a time. What have we done?
No, generally, let me give the guys chance. Maybe they get a question for you. Anybody want to dive into that Rachel saying or ask a question? We'll move to Akara's grade. Fubi. Akara's grade, do you have a question for Dr. Rachel saying? She's saying something striking here right now. And I am saying on the other side, whether this, and I'm going to just ask you so you can use your time. I know you're opposition, but were you, for a little tiny bit, hopeful that maybe under Joseph Yuma Baka things are going to get better?
Absolutely not. Let me say go into absolutely not. And I have good reasons why not. I work in the Capitol building, and President Burger was the vice president of Liberia. And the two bodies will work together. I interacted with him, I think, about 3 different times. Went to his office. He sent for me, I think, 2 times. But he didn't demonstrate leadership at any point in time. I think people don't follow the history of people, not just when it comes to leadership, but even if you want to give them authority. One way I saw President Boyka is that I have one philosophy. You get elected to lead and not to be led. What do I mean by that? The people give you authority to lead them and not to be led, like other people pushing you around, making decisions for you, and just that you sit and just watch. 2 reasons why I would not have voted for him, President Boyka. Not just President Boyka, but even his vice president. Fortunately, vice president and I worked 12 years together. Of the 12 years, we're in the house together for like 9 years. Do I know him more than everyone on the show here? Yes. I don't want to be personal, but I will just stop at that point in time. They know. Terry can say this to you, that President Boyka had no connection locally, internationally, and his vice president, 0 connection. If you live in the Charles Walker Bronskin very well during 2017, you get some picture about President Boyka. If you really listen to his friends, if you have sat and listened to President Selly's presentation about President Boyka, you have known that he can lead. I will tell you this. He can lead, he will always be led. In fact, some people were afraid in 2017 to support President Boyka because they thought Vanny Sherman and other people were going to lead and they were going to become very vindictive and we had no control over them. Okay, not much can be said, but the president, in my mind, okay, if you are take George Weah, if you are Alexander Cummings, you pull Boyka, I will go for Cummings. If you are Bronskin and you pull Boyka, I will go for Bronskin. Because President Boyka cannot lead. He's being led. And he has demonstrated that, and I'll work with him. I'm speaking from the first person standpoint. I'm not saying it because of politics. But to be frank with you, I do a lot of things happening in the Capitol building, and President Boyka did not play leadership at all. And he didn't demonstrate leadership. So, no, you are not been a good leader. I think his presentation, he look, two things with the president and the vice president. The way to bring himself up is deceptive. It deceived the public to think that, oh, there's a very humble man, there's a very humble vice president, they come from a humble background, but do you know them? There's a difference between perception, perceived knowledge, and established knowledge. Perceived knowledge will be the first thing you think about someone when you just see them. That's perception. But have you interact with them to establish as to whether the way you see them to appear humble, they are actually humble? So if you establish that they are humble by your interaction with them, then it's established knowledge. But yes, the perceived knowledge that people have about them, I mean, that's why I carry them to, but actually by the established knowledge, they are not leaders.
But let me ask you a question, Gray. You said something. If Cummings or Bronskin, you're going to be happy if they were there with President Boyka, you're going to choose them. Because you work with President Boyka, you know, while he was serving as vice president. You work with Jeremiah Kuhn while you were serving as representative, and he was representative also prior to going into the Senate. Yeah, but here we are, though. I don't want to bring in the CDC issue. I choose within myself not to argue and measure this government with CDC. I don't want to do that because the people have answered. They have agreed with us that we'll remove CDC and bring in Josh Manu and bring in Joseph Boyka. So why should I make the measuring stay as per CDC? So let's stick with President Boyka for a little bit. What have he done to convince you and say at least he's trying as an opposition, a very fierce opposition too? Have you seen anything? Any little light?
No. I want to be very blunt with you. I've not seen it. I've not seen it from President Boyka. I've not seen it from his associates. Okay, I've seen something from some people who supported President Boyka, but not in government. I've seen something, not because I'm on the show. I've seen something from you. I've seen something from Amara Kone. I've seen something from John Modu. I've been blunt with you, okay? And maybe one or two persons who talk to me behind the scene, but they are not in government. Maybe, if President Boyka has some of these characters around him and in control, maybe I would have said, okay, they're making some strides, they're doing this and whatsoever. Even at the Liberian Senate, the cream of people who deal with him, who advise him, you know, they're not giving the proper advice. I see a group of hustlers who believe that maybe the president has one thing and they're just going to grab and go. His policies, there are no changes on the policy. His policies have not been properly legislated because most of the policies to have enforcement authority. Take, for example, let's just look at the yellow vision issue. There's no budgetary appropriation for that. Absolutely no budget line you can show. So there's no legislation for certain policy. For example, the policy on the issue, yeah, you can say, okay, he legislated tourism. Let's say that. Let's be real. He legislated tourism. But what has been the financial support for tourism that could bring thousands of jobs, tens of thousands of jobs to the country automatically? If you look at the budgetary support, it's zero. The policy on drugs, for example, when you declare, let me just conclude on this. When you declare drugs a national health emergency or of national security, and then he announced a committee, then he announced the issue of justice. He didn't make any photo on that. So it flopped. Everything had just scattered.
Thank you. Okay. So guys, again, like I said, Snow is coming on. Senator Snow from Bowman County is coming on today. We're going to say a lot. This is an open discussion. I wanted to bring in Jacqueline Roberts. Maybe we'll push up for another day. I wanted to talk about the drugs issue. We got response now, other document from LDA I'm working on to bring somebody from LDA on this show that they can actually speak to the nation on the fight against drugs. But this open conversation, Phoebe Herring, welcome to the show. Before bringing counselor, it's also good to see our sister Jackie, Johnny or Jackie. Welcome to the show. Well, let me say to you, Phoebe, President Joseph Imabwaka and this government, what are your disappointment within 18 months? And what are some of the areas you think, yes, indeed, the government have made some improvement?
Yeah, so for me, my prediction of the successor of WIA, that any president that will succeed President WIA will take 3 years for them to get the country back on track. And I still hold true to that. There are a lot of things that the country went through within that 6 years, and it takes some serious push to get the country back on track. And I still think that the government has 1 more year to go. This other year is already done. 1 more year to go to clear all my doubts that they are ready to move the country forward. But my main issue that I've always pushed all governments on, and in this government, they are not directed their attention really to the private sector, and I think that's where they need to drive their attention. If they don't do that, like the same way I want the CDC government, the early days I started my campaign with them, I said the economy is a factor that you have to pay attention to instead of looking forward to 2023, pay attention to the economy. But at that time we were speaking, they were calling our hate position, enemy of the states, anything we talk, nobody wanted to listen. And I told them, I said, pay attention to the economy. And when the president pushed that, citizenship to non-Negro, 25 lawmaker of American Great led that campaign. We fought that thing. And we went to the market. The same way, people going to the market to talk to people. We went to the market, we went to the streets. And we started to ask basic questions, and we tried to rally support to oppose, the amendment of the Constitution to make people citizens. And the only thing that we heard, and we gave feedback to the government that the economy was down and going down rapidly. We say the government, turn your attention to the economy if you want to succeed. So the same thing I'm saying to this government, they have to turn their attention to the economy if they want to succeed. Instead of focusing on 2029, focus on the economy. When the economy is okay, 2029 is a done deal, naturally. You don't have to even struggle much. You can't campaign. You can't campaign about somebody. You can't tell somebody say that the country is okay when the person know that they are not balling. GDP growth, people have to feed it in their homes. They have to feed it in their children's school, paying their children's school fees on time. They have to feed the GDP growth, paying their hospital bills, transportation, moving from one point to another. And they can feed all of those things. You can show all the IMF report and say, oh, the country made progress, that fiasco. And there's no progress if they make enough pay children's school fees. There's no progress if they make enough pay a house rent. There's no progress if they make enough pay hospital bills on time. There's no progress if they make enough feed a family. That's the greatest one. You can feed your family. You can do all the development. If no food, the development is a waste of time. The councillor who said earlier, people can travel 5 hours, but when the Pope bring goods from Maryland, can you buy it? That's the question to answer. So the economy, I think the government to focus on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me bring in Councillor Fubi. Listen, I had a question for you, but I want to squeeze in 5 minutes because snow will soon be coming on. Councillor, let's hear you. I mean, we started this conversation as an open conversation, and then Jackie will close on this. I mean, you said something powerful, but going back to what Dr. Richardson said, I mean, are you still hopeful, Councillor? Are you still hopeful? If you were hopeful before, are you still hopeful?
No, like I said earlier, I spoke frankly that I didn't expect anything much, and those are some of the reasons why I didn't get support. I told you I was in opposition up to the runoff. Phoebe Henry is here, my window, he knows that. Up to the runoff, and I was there. I mean, I heard a lot, but maybe if he listens to my little advice about creating a platform for the people to confront him, because this is about the advisors. The advisors come in the morning, giving all the nice stories that things okay in the country. Maybe if he takes 1 day in the month and just have a radio show, all the radio stations, and just take 2 hours and just listen to the people, listen to the callers, maybe it will help to change the course because they still have time. Still have 4 years, few months. Still have time. But presently we can see they have what? Active years will be maybe 2. Because by 2027, 28, the November election. So maybe something can happen. But if they continue the same path, my brother, I tell you, it's a different story for 2029. Forget it. If the country remains in the same path, let them forget it. Let them just forget.
So real quick, I'm going to hold you there. Let me bring in Jackie. Jackie will give you. I get a question to ask every one of you because no got but 3 more minutes to come on. Jackie, we give you the 1 minute or 30-second real quick. Talk to us. Welcome to the show, Jackie.
Thank you so much, Senator. It's good to be here. Hello to Liberians in Liberia and within the diaspora. Looking forward to a fruitful and rewarding conversation this evening.
Jackie, thank you very much. I want to say, let me ask the question though. Let's talk about this trip briefly. And I want to start with you, Jackie. Do you think it was the right decision by the government to take 40 individuals to Japan, Tokyo?
Stanton, you know what? You make me laugh a lot when you're talking because it seems like you blow things and balloon things. The delegation is 20, I think between 20 to 22, from what I understand. So where you got your 40, I don't get it.
So Jackie, one way, Jackie, let me answer you where I got it from.
Presidential delegation.
Jackie, let me ask you where I get. Let me answer you right now.
Yeah, but you're good at ballooning things. We all
no,
know
but
that.
Jackie, wait now. Jackie, wait. I agree. You say I go at ballooning things. That's fine. I agree. Jackie, when last you visited the executive mansion page?
Well, that's
yeah.
Did
the
you see 40 people on there?
Jackie, I beg you. Jackie,
Stanton, let me tell you the fact about that list.
Well,
you asked me a question, I'm going to answer it.
Jackie, wait. Can you answer the question?
Answer your question.
Go ahead.
Yes, the list consists of all the people, including the technocrats, that are going to be at. There are 2 major events taking place in Japan, for which Liberia will be rewarded heavily. The Liberian people, that trip is in the best interest of the Liberian people, and the investment will be, the return on the investment of that trip will be tenfold. I mean, there's so many great and wonderful things that are going to be coming.
We are not into the great and wonderful things. I said 40, but Jackie, one at a time. I beg you.
Okay, Jackie, I'm answering your question, but let me finish. Stanton. Yesterday, you kept muting me while I was trying to defend.
I'm not muting you, but I'm saying, can we speak one at a time?
Allow me to express myself.
I will not listen, Jackie. That's my 2 hands.
I believe in equality and equity, and that's what this show should be about. Go ahead, Stanton.
Jackie, when last you visited the executive mansion page?
Stanton, I saw the list on the executive mansion page.
What was the information?
And what I'm trying to tell you is, the list consists, there are 2 major events.
Let me apologize to me now. When I said 40, apologize to me because I was very clear.
No, I'm not going to apologize.
The executive mansion said 40. They say 40, Jackie.
Stanton.
So when I see you ask me where I got 40 from.
So that's the president's delegation. No, it's not. The list of the people include the technocrats. They're not part of the president's delegation, Stanton.
Okay.
They're not. Let's be realistic. The assistant ministers, they are not a part of the president's delegation.
No, wait. Nobody should say anything. That's Sister Jackie finished. Jackie, hurry up now. We got to bring Snow in.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to tell you is the actual list is no more than 20. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And that includes the security apparatus, the camera people, and all.
Can we mute, guys? Somebody play something.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah, so don't balloon things and say 40 people at the president delegation. No, it's not.
Okay, Jackie, thank you very much. Let me come in, guys. And somebody just help us. I beg you. Anybody? Jackie, the executive mansion, Kula Fufana said, the president dedication is 40 individual traveling. Out of the 40, they named 23 ministers and advisors that are on the trip. So, Jackie, when we come on the show, let's be sincere. It's not how I say it, it's how I report it. It says 40 on the executive mansion. And Liberians need to hear this. 23 ministers and directors. Now, the delegation, everybody that got in that plane received government subsidy benefit. So they are part of the delegation. They got DSA. They are part of the delegation. They are taken care of in hotels, food, restaurant. They are part of the delegation. You cannot separate them. So I don't know where you're coming from. Let me finish, sister. Sister, I beg you. I beg you. Let me finish. We allow the other people to speak. I didn't write anything on the executive mansion website, on the page. I did it. I don't control it. That's what they said. That's what is written on there. So, Jackie, how you will come over here and tell me that I make up the number 40? I did it. But let's move on. Snow is joining us shortly. Dr. Richardson, I will ask you the same question. Do you think it was necessary for President Bwaka to take 40 members of the government, whether sweeper or medical doctor or whatsoever, on that trip, 40 of them?
So Elaine, let me respond to you, or you move to Dr. Francine. That's okay.
We'll come back, Jackie. I'm trying to squeeze everybody in before Snow gets in the back, please.
Whether it's 40 or 20, given our economic situation in the country, I think that amount of people were just too much, especially in today's world where you can attend conferences by, zooming in and understanding what the conference is all about. I am following this conference. I went into the minutes. You can go online and go to the Tokyo, international conference for African development in Africa, and you will see the notes. I was looking to see if Liberian name was mentioning any of the notes. I did not see Liberian name. I saw Sierra Leone, I saw Angola, but I didn't see Liberia's name mentioned in the notes. Okay, I mean those were just the notes. But to answer your questions fairly, is 20 or 40 people is just too much for our country. We are struggling economically, and I would have loved to see a lower amount of people attending the conference, and other people could have joined in different ways. And I want to know what was our contribution to the conference. What did we get from the conference? Is it equivalent to the money that we're spending right now? Could other Liberians in Liberia benefited from the money? Those are my questions that I have.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Gray.
That?
Well, Honorable, let's get to you. I beg you, ma'am. I beg you, Jackie. Honorable Gray, and we're going to talk about this conference, what we are hearing from the conference, because our sources are there. They are at the conference, and what they're telling us, we'll dive into that. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Honorable Gray, 40 men and women escorted the president to Japan, Tokyo.
Sure. But look, to be frank with you, as a former government official, for people to claim that the delegation that the president travels with, the delegation is split into two at senior ministerial level and junior ministerial level, and the junior ministers are not part of the delegation, especially going to the same conference. So which conference are they going to? I think we can, no spin can turn it around. The delegation, 40 persons. Okay, that's it. It took 40 persons. There's no separation of the delegation. That's it. So whether they name 20, they just name the senior level officials, which is usually they do. They would name the senior level officials, but there were other people who went there. Okay, some people who just got on the plane, they flew off. We see that other countries are benefiting from sisterly relationship. Liberia is not a part of it. Make no mistake, somebody told me the president will be coming with $5 billion is good. I told them, what? You joking? You're talking about that conference? Like an African summit with the Japanese people? That's what you're talking about? So everything they criticize, they get contradicted, everything that they criticize. Nothing is going to come from that conference. Liberia has made no case. Other countries are making that case. Country like how do I call them, sir? Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania. Okay, those are countries that have been making their cases. In Mozambique, it's another country. Liberia is far away from the press releases that are coming out in terms of any benefit. So we are just spectator iron, sitting there watching and making no contribution because we don't have the skills. Like I said, the leadership of the country, they don't have the skills, they don't have the connect, they don't have the relationship. The president autonomy is not seeing. Nobody can tell us, say, these are the meetings that the president will be attending, or these are the people that he will be meeting, or these are the SAR meetings, for example, that the Minister of Defense or the Information Minister. I see everybody just sitting behind the president, the puppet with a doctor, Dr. Nyinibi, the guy in the white there sitting behind the president, a personal doctor there, sitting right at the conference right behind him. Okay, there's a public knowledge. I can send you the photo so you can see. The fellow in the white, Dr. Nyinibi, something like that, they call him. He's the personal doctor sitting right behind the president in the white there. Okay, so all of these things.
Man, if that's what I need, Dr. Nyinibi that cause for man.
Yeah, sounds like Nyinibi. I said some in Nyinibi. But I think
you take over the other country, yeah, you going to make Dr. Nyinibi.
No, I'm saying Nyinibi, I beg you. I will not say that. I mean, I know the doctor very well. Okay, I know the doctor very well.
But let's go back to the issue. I want to just announce again.
And I guess that Sir Jackie would say he's not part of the delegation, but Sir Jackie will put it up to.
Yeah, but thank you, Fubi. Let me ask you, and again, if somebody know Edwin Bevins know out there, please stand up with him for him. He came on and he went off. The man trying to play slow game, but we catch him today. Fubi, let me ask you before we bring in VP and end up with Jackie. Fubi, 40 holy men or 40 thieves. Because you call it Alabama and a 40 thief or 40 holy men or 40 days, whatever you want to take here. Going on a trip and people just taking pictures, people just eating. And you ask them individually, what's the mission there? Why were you, for example, look at the senator. Why is he doing, what's his mission on that trip? To go eat? What's the mission of Delon going on the trip? What's the reason? What Delon going to do to the expo? What Delon going to do to the Jubilee Festival? Chair on Foreign Affairs, Delon was begging to go and they said, let's get him ticket. Do you know how much a ticket from Monrovia to Tokyo, Japan costs? I can tell you how much. And I get the whole thing, right? But I want to save people. For economy class, $6,582, one person. Business class is $10,133.
Yeah, business class, yeah.
And I want Liberians to hear this. If you
go in economy, is how much?
If you go in economy from Monrovia, Rabat International Airport to Tokyo to get to your final destination, you will pay $6,882 round trip.
Mm-hmm.
Round trip. And I can tell you who all went on business class and who all went on the economy class. For me, the business class is $10,133. Delon, flying on business class, $10,000. You think he's doing well for his people in Maserado? What's the meaning of Delon going on the trip? Not only Delon, I'm not beating on Delon. I will put all the picture up. Foreign ministry don't care 6 individuals. Foreign ministry care 8 individuals. For what? Imagine these people, even say economic class, 6,000 and change. Calculate by 7 of them. You almost to 42,000 just on ticket, not DSA. So when we ask the question, the people get mad. Get mad for what? Was the trip necessary to carry 40? Now, I will give you an inside story. President Baga know whether to go on this trip. The president had no desire to go on the trip. While other countries say the prime minister, the tourism minister, President Baga know whether to go, but guess what? They say, President, you got to go. You're tired of being like, bro, let's go for the ride.
So, the Minister of State, Sierra Leone. Send her Minister of State.
They say, President, you tired of being liberal people story that plenty of story. Let's go for the ride. You think this government is supposed to carry 40? I would even put all of them to the 6,005, right? 6,500. And put all 40 of them to 6,500. And let's see how much it costs. Okay? Let's just see how much it costs. All 40 of them to 6,000.
260,000.
No, you didn't do the math right.
Is it 6,500 times 40?
Yeah, 6,500. Yeah. 200 and what?
60,000.
Just on ticket alone.
Yeah, 260,000.
I'm not doing a measure whether it's business or economic class. No, just pour all of them flat rate.
6,500. It's 260,000.
Do you know how much NEC need right now to open that building? 171,000. And then I will talk about it because he broke it in our chat room today. But they got to spend it 200. Hey, talk to me, man. You think it was necessary? You think it was necessary? For me?
Yeah. So for me, my take, I always say that, you know, when I was in the 6th grade in Ghana, there's a book that they show us. You know, there was a poem there that said, "Grass is greener at your feet." But most of the time, you're looking at other people's feet and thinking that grass is greener at their feet, and you forget about your own feet. You know, and that's Liberia's problem. We don't recognize what we have. We don't recognize the local resources that we have. We don't know how to mobilize them. And so we think that we have to go to all of these international trips to attract foreign investors. And government in, government out, all of those international trips and foreign investment deals that they have, brought back to the country or some NL fiasco, we are not seeing this country moving forward. So for me, I think we need to change the strategy. Instead of running all behind all these trips, let's see what can we do locally with our own local revenue. Drive some of those, if it means you increase on taxes on some point, do them, but make sure the people should see the taxes working for them. That's the most important part. If people see their taxes working, they'll be willing to pay. If they don't see their taxes working, that's where the frustration comes in. All serious government around the world, they survive on taxes. They don't survive on donors' funding. They're not looking for foreign investors to come before their country can move forward. If America were waiting for foreign investors, America would not be a better country. If China were waiting for foreign investors, China would not be a better country. If Japan were waiting for foreign investors, Japan would not be a better country. So we have to start mobilizing resources locally and see how we can turn things around. And because of the higher cost of living, these trips will be very alarming each time you raise them. Because of the high cost of living. I always use the other analogy also. When you go to the party or you attend a wedding reception, which is most of the time, after you go to the reception, most of the time the food can be on a high table with a bridal party. And everybody else will be waiting for them to be served, although as they announce that you can go to the other tray to go and take your food. During that period, all eyes can be on the bridal table. Looking at the cake design, the chicken that there, the wine, bottles, and all of those stuff. By the time they say food is ready, go on this side, everybody now focus in their own plates when they're eating because they have food. So the formula is ensure that you provide for the people to make their own money and have their own food on their table. Then these kind of trips will not be alarming, because when president going on trip, you're not expecting the president to carry 2-3% behind, So there will be huge delegation. When people hungry, 1,000 say you spend on plane ticket is a big deal because people are hungry. But if you change that story around and the economy is booming, people can afford, nobody will care about the president going on with 40% or 100%. I mean, that's one of the reasons why some of these things I never criticized them before. I will not criticize it now. But I think the government just need to change the strategy on directing looking at our local economy, how we can get it working, and how we can get Liberians.
Thank you for it. Fully, thank you. I see that Snow in the back. I think he's ready. I really want us to continue this, but I got to bring in Senator Snow. Then you guys will have the chance later. My brother from Della Patrick, welcome. Let me give you 30 seconds before I bring Senator Snow in. I mean, you are CEO now. I got to show you the utmost respect, sir.
Thank you, CEO. It's good to be here. So let me just be short on this matter. I think we have talked on this for a very long time. I would like to stress on two things. Reference to this trip. I would like to look at the moral aspect and the legal aspect regarding
No, I'm
this
just
trip.
saying for you to introduce yourself.
No, yeah. Short time. Yeah, I mean, I'll be very short.
It's a conversation now. I won't bring Snow in. Can you please just introduce yourself, Mr.
Yeah,
CEO? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
He can come in, he will still participate. I think he'll follow the trend of the conversation. But let me just say this, I will be very brief. Morally, it's wrong because the country is struggling. The teachers are struggling. They don't have pay, JFK, no drugs. You know, every sector of our country is challenged. To have 40% delegation to Japan, in my mind, I mean, it's unacceptable. At this time, when we're supposed to be instituting austerity measures to cut down costs, save more money, and invest in other sectors that are facing challenges, I don't think 40% delegation was necessary. But legally, the trip is justified because when you pass the budget,
I beg you, we got to leave it there. We know it's justified. I'd hate to cut you off, but we got to move on. Jackie, let me give you 30 seconds to just on the trip. We're not talking about the legal aspect of the trip. What say you? It's in the 40 members delegation was, I mean.
Okay, you said 40. The actual number is far less than that, which is around 20. The rest of the people are not part of the president's.
I didn't say 40. I'm telling you that what they
I'm telling you what the actual number is. Now let me tell you why the trip is important. Let me tell you why the trip
Jackie, wait. What's the actual number, Jackie? No, Jackie, you're not being sincere. I don't like when you do that.
Security and everything is around 20.
Even the executive mansion says, Jackie, wait. The executive mansion listed 23 government senior officials. Did you see that?
And I'm trying to tell you, these are people who are in attendance of both events, but the technicians are also on that list, but they're not part of.
You say less than 20. What will you spell me the base?
Why are you focusing on the number? Let me spend my time focusing on the why this trip is important. I am focusing on the numbers because you are not saying the truth. I answer your question. Now let me tell you.
You are not saying the truth.
The next thing you're going to cut me off and say Snow.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm not cutting you off.
Let me tell the Liberian people why this trip is extremely important.
Yeah.
Because TCAT 1 is not held every year. It's held every few years. For this is the African Conference, AU, with Japan, the Japanese government. We remember that the Japanese government, the Japanese freeway, when Madame Salif went to the TCAT, we got the Japanese freeway, one of the best roads here built in Liberia right now. What are we getting? We're getting pediatric hospital. They're going to be MOUs that will be signed in the interest of Liberia and the Liberian people. We're getting health, education, technology, you name it. The youth, the country, the Liberian people are going to benefit from this trip tenfold. You are a businessman, Stanton. You have to spend $1 in order for you to get $100. So the small amount of money that the government invested in this trip, the Liberian people are going to get it 1,000 folds, and it's going to be in the millions and millions of dollars.
Jackie. Thank you very much, Jackie. I like when you
in the health sector, the education sector, to the agriculture sector.
Thank you very much, Jackie. I got to bring Snow on.
The youth, everybody going to benefit.
Thank you very much, Jackie. I got to bring Snow on.
Motorcyclists, everybody will benefit.
Jackie, thank you. You said the government spends small amount of money. How much? Do you know how much was spent on this trip?
It's very small. You're a businessman, Stanton.
Do you know how much was spent on the trip?
If you spend $1 and get $100,
do you know how much was spent on this trip?
Jackie, return. Isn't that a good investment?
Jackie, do you know how much was spent on the trip?
whatever was spent, the
Okay,
government
whatever.
is going
Thank
to
you very
benefit
much.
millions and millions
I
of dollars for the
respect you,
Liberian people.
and I will always have this great
And
conversation with you.
it's not
I want
much
to bring
compared
in.
to what they're getting in return
Thank
for the
you very
Liberian.
much. Thank you very much. I want to bring Evan Ben Snow. We can announce to the nation. Jackie said the trip was unique. The president took less than 40. No. As per the executive mansion report, the first day when the announcement came, Jackie, you feeling me say my own, I got Ben Snow. And as per the executive mansion, they say 40. All of the 40, 23 senior government officials were listed. I don't know what Jackie taking 20 from. And I don't know what she denying the fact at 40. But let's move on. Today, Daniel Sano, we play that clip, have announced the president realized that he made a mistake. Maybe Jackie didn't hear it. He is cutting his trip short and coming back home. Today, it was announced by Daniel Sano at Mika. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, with all the sweet talking, Jackie talking and say, well, it's necessary here and there. Today, at Mika, go and listen. Daniel Sano said the president is cutting his trip short. He coming back home because the Liberian people are suffering, and he deemed it necessary to come back home and cut the trip short. What say you? Those that preaching the propaganda that is not the bread and butter issue of the country. For me, Akaris Gray, Dr. Richardson, Vendetta Patrick, Mr. CEO, my sister Jackie, we're going to welcome today to the show the Honorable Senator Edwin Mervyn Snow. We are not leaving this story. We'll continue with this story for everybody to know that today, President Joseph Yima Barker said through his Deputy Minister of Information that he is cutting his trip short. He is coming back home because he thinks it's a wistful trip. I added that there and I believe it. No, Jackie, don't interrupt me now. We're finished with you. You said it was a good trip. Daniel Sando, Deputy Minister of Information, said the president is cutting his trip short. You are not the Minister of Information. You are not a deputy. Now we are listening to the government here. There's a reason why when they ask him, because of the backlash of the people, the president cutting his trip short. We'll get to it. Edwin Mervyn Snow, Senator, welcome to the show, sir. It's good to see you. You are far away from the camera. We cannot see you. You are very, very far.
Can you see me?
Well, we're managing now. I mean, we know who you are. Dr. Richardson know who you are. So once you recognize you, I recognize you.
Is the senator on an airplane?
No, Jackie, I'm home.
Okay.
I'm not hearing you.
Unmute yourself, Stanton. We're not hearing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get someone off the phone. I thought you were going to take it away, Dr. Richardson. Senator Snow, thank you very much for joining us. It's always good having you. Welcome to the show. Though you came late, and I'm on the American time, sir. I respect time. I respect season, but I can't refuse you. I will be happy to have conversation with you any day. Though you are not my friend politically, we are not on the same side, but I appreciate you joining us today.
So Stanton, I was in the middle of dinner when you called me at 7:30 and asked me to be on your show 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I was ready, and you announced that I was going to come on the show by 9:40. You announced that, and I've been in the back since 9:25, and you just putting me on. So
where are you having dinner? Where are you? Which one of the homes?
Home. I'm home. My official residence. I just got back from Birmingham this evening, and I'm.
I thought you were in Birmingham. I thought you were in Birmingham.
I got back this evening from Birmingham. As a matter of fact, as soon as I got home, that's when you called me.
Okay, thank you very much. So yes, indeed, I call you because let me give you a chance first. I want to say my sympathy to you on behalf of the network. One of your son, one of your young man that so admire your work, and you've been working alongside with him past. One of the things, our sympathy to you and his family.
Thank you very much, Stanton. This means a lot to me and the Bashir Toure family. Bashir was like a son to me, actually a son to me. He's lived with me for many years. A very promising young man who passed away about 10 days ago. He'll be buried on the 30th. Yeah, thank you. I've seen this. On the 30th of August, he'll be buried. On the 29th, his body will be removed from the Samuel Stryker Funeral Home. As you know, Bashir was once a basketball star in Liberia, so his body will be taken to the SKD Gymnasium for viewing and night of wakekeeping, and then taken back to Stryker. And on Saturday, the funeral service will be at the Greater Refuge or church in Congo Town, and the tournament will follow at the Sartar or cemetery owned by Mr. Bernard Ure in Carisburg. It's disheartening, it's heartbreaking, but God gave it, and God has taken his life, and we want to extend our sympathy and thanks and appreciation to you, your network, and everyone who have expressed word of sympathy since the demise of Bashir.
Just thank you very much, man. A lot of people speaking good of him. I never spoke to him before, I believe. I don't know him, but we pray that his soul rests in peace. And it's on the same day, on the 29th, which will be funeral service for Sylvester Graceby. I love to announce that on the 30th also of this month.
On the
29th will be the wake keeping, and on the 30th
Liberia?
will be in Texas, in Houston. Sylvester Graceby will be laid to rest on the 30th, which will be on a Saturday. I want to say thank you again. Let's give you a chance. If you want to talk about the passing of Sylvester Graceby, we can give you the time, and then we'll move into discussion.
I wish the family, the widow and family of Minister Graceby, solace during these difficult times of bereavement, and I pray that his soul rests in peace. Thank you.
Honorable Snow. Honorable Snow, thank you for joining us. We got a lot to talk about today, and Dr. Richard saying, Akara's great sister Jackie from Dada Patrick's, Phoebe Herons. People ask me why I love to call the women sister if they do not have title. You know, that's exactly what our parents taught us. You know, Sister Grace, Sister Patricia, Sister Cecilia, my sister, that's so just used to me. And let's try to do that. We have our disagreement, but we respect our Liberian women. Not only Liberian women, but women as a whole. It has more value to your message. And again, I want to say, Senator, let me get this off the bat, and then we'll go around the table. The retired Chief Justice, at the time she was having her retirement ceremony, President, Vice President, Speaker, Pro Tem, Justice Minister, how powerful people in this government boycotted. Why?
How am I supposed to know that statement? I don't know. I don't work for the judiciary. I know that a special note was taken of the Justice Minister absent. As you know, the Justice Minister of Liberia is not just the Minister of Justice, he's the Attorney General, and he's the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar. And I think the Justice Minister absent from that program, and then 2 hours later, he was present at the Executive Mansion at the political part of the program, because the Chief Justice retired and there was a closing of the March term of court. So the Justice Minister and the entire executive branch were absent, of course, including most members of the legislature. But it's troubling, and I don't speak for the judiciary. As you know, the Chief Justice, the former Chief Justice, is my ex-wife, so I don't speak for her as a family person. But as a Liberian politician, it's troubling when the Justice Minister of Liberia, who happens to be the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, boycotts a judiciary function, and a few hours later, he's in attendance at a political function, because the commissioning ceremony of an official by the president is a political function, and the Justice Minister is seated there. It's troubling. It tells you, it says a lot about the country. It says a lot about his integrity as a lawyer who a lot of Liberians had a lot of respect for before he took the office. And it's troubling that the Justice Minister, who is the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, will boycott such a very, very important program, the closing of the court and the retirement of the Chief Justice. And of course, the conspicuous absence of the president and all other. There was no official, except for the Solicitor General. There was no official from the executive branch that attended that program in the official capacity, or that I noticed. Except for 3 members of the legislature, there were no other member of the legislature at that program. I saw the copy of the program. There was a portion there where both the president and the Justice Minister were expected to speak, and both of them were absent from that program. I think it's troubling, especially the Justice Minister. I think he owes not just the public, I think he owes the Supreme Court some answer, because when the Justice Minister becomes so political and out of trying to protect his job, it's troubling. It's troubling, and I think it's a rude awakening for our country, and we must look at this with the eagle eye. And I think the hard questions must be asked. So it's not just an ordinary
when I reach out, Senator, when I reach out to the government, and a few ministers said about what they know, unannounced. I'm not calling their names. The retirement program took place, without some letters. The both retirement and the commissioning of the other people were scheduled on the same day. And they excused that there was no invitation given to members of the executive or some member of the legislature that the program were to take place on the same day. Do you think there were conflict in the scheduling date?
Again, let me do the disclaimer. I don't speak for the legislature, neither do I speak for the court. And it's public knowledge that the former Chief Justice is my ex-wife, so I don't speak for her. But what I do know is that there were invitations. One invitation was for 10 o'clock for the closing of the March term of court and the official retirement of the Chief Justice. The second invitation was 4 o'clock at the Executive Mansion, where there was a commissioning ceremony of the incoming Chief Justice, now Chief Justice, and the incoming Associate Justice, now Associate Justice Rebecca Kane, and Chief Justice Yami Bwese. At that program, of course, the Justice Minister was seated there comfortably, and almost all members of the executive branch of government and most members of the legislature were at that program, which was the political side of the program. But at the official close of the court and the official retirement at the judiciary branch of government of the Chief Justice. And honestly, the president not being there is not as important as the Justice Minister boycotting such a program. The Justice Minister in Liberia on our constitution is not just an ordinary minister. The matter of fact, on our laws, he's the only minister that can disagree with the president. All right, there's a very serious position there as Minister of Justice. So the Minister of Justice playing politics and boycotting such an important program, I think it belittles his career, it belittles his integrity, and it speaks very little of the values that we all thought he represented as Minister.
So I see you beating on the Justice Minister, and I'm going to bring in the rest of the team. But do you think that your area of work, the Senate, while the pro tem and most of your colleagues, why they boycotted?
Well, again, the legislature, as you know, people would choose to attend or not to attend a function. But again, Stanton, like I said, the Justice Minister, the reason why I keep emphasizing the Justice Minister, and I mentioned that to you earlier, he's a Minister of Justice.
Yeah, but we understand that. So
let me land. As Minister of Justice, that's his job with the executive branch of government. As Dean of the Supreme Court Bar is his affiliation with the judiciary branch of government. So he is one that works with the three branches of government. And not being at that program while he was in the country, but 2 hours later was at another program, I think it says a lot. But also take note that the pro tem that you're talking about was also not at the commissioning ceremony. So people would choose to attend or not to attend the program.
Did the Senate receive official invitation from the retired Chief Justice?
Well, I don't speak for the Senate, like I said, but I know my office.
No, I see you as a senator. Did the Senate?
My office.
Not your office. Did the Senate receive?
So stand on. Let me explain to you and say. I mean, Akaras Gray, former Representative Akaras Gray will tell you, even for the official 26 program where we all attend, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Protocol Department will send invitation to each senator, addressed to each senator. So each senator or representative will speak for themselves. So I cannot tell you the Senate received it. I can tell you that I receive it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Richardson, let's take this round. Jackie, you're going to come in after Dr. Richardson. Our Representative Gray, you will come from Dr. Patrick and our brother Fubi. Dr. Richardson, your 2 questions, man.
Senator Snow, I want to just say sorry to you and your family. I too shared sympathy regarding Bashir. His father taught me, yes, his father taught me French in Beaumont, and his mother also was a teacher in Beaumont. His sister attends our conventions, so we are in sympathy with the family as well. My question to you, you are very concerned about the politicalization of the court system of justice in our country. You talked about, the fact that it would have been it could have been political since the Justice Minister Twe did not attend the retirement party of your former wife, Justice Stena Yo. What was your position on the appointment and confirmation of Senator Buddha Cannon's brother to the Supreme Court, Justice Cannon? What's your position on that?
Well, Councillor Boyka Cannon, the fact that he was the chair, executive director of the Law Reform Commission, speaks volume of his qualification. I honestly have no question about Justice Cannon's qualification. And I think by seeing Boto Cannon's brother, Senator Boto Cannon's brother, we're trying to denigrate the appointment, but I didn't see it that way as Boto Cannon's brother. I saw him being appointed as a qualified lawyer. The fact that he headed the Law Reform Commission, reforming our different penal codes and laws and all of that. I think it was the president's prerogative, and I think the Senate deemed it fit to confirm him based on his experience and his qualification as a lawyer. So I interposed no objection, and I voted for him as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court.
You said something bad to do. You say I was denigrating his appointment because I said I didn't.
No, I didn't say you were. I just said you sounded.
Okay.
I like your shades, Dr. Richardson.
Thank you. I'm relatively tired today, so when I'm tired, I can't see well. So yes.
Yeah, how you're in Canada? Yeah.
Yes. I was over the past weekend. It was a very successful trip. Thanks for asking. My second question to you is: can you tell us one reform that you know that Justice Boyka Cannon implemented or brought about during his tenure? I hear that he was chair, and it sounds like a big position, and we Liberians, we are attracted to big names and positions, but I just wanted to know if you know of any that we can share, because I did my research. All I saw was titles. Him being listed with these different titles, but the paper did not extend to telling us, what contribution did he bring, did he make? Because that's where we are in Liberia right now, to me.
So I tell you what the Senate would normally do, or what we do at the Liberian Senate. Well, whenever there's an act to repeal certain laws, or we reference the Law Reform Commission, so we send to them for their opinion or the research, and then they will advise the Judiciary Committee, and we work along with them. So I know that we've worked closely with the Law Reform. As a matter of fact, former Chief Justice Yo was a member of the Law Reform Commission when Madam Salih appointed her as Associate Justice. So it's almost like a pattern. So we normally, I don't know exactly what the House of Representatives does, but the Senate will normally get to the Law Reform Commission. We work with them on a lot of bills and resolutions, especially when we're repealing laws, because we like for those laws to be synchronized and go in line with our penal code. So I know we've worked with him closely. I know also he has done some work at the level of ECOWAS. He's been engaged in some of the regional judicial reforms in ECOWAS. And he's a promising young man, and I'm sure he's going to do a pretty good job on the Supreme Court bench. We're hopeful that he would.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Let me bring in my sister, Jackie. Jackie, your 2 questions for Honorable Snow.
Honorable Snow, it's very good to see you today. You look very, very relaxed.
Thank you.
I'm going back to what you just said a few minutes ago. You said you don't speak for the legislature, nor do you speak for your wife or
My ex-wife.
your ex-wife or the court. But then why are you trying to speak or interpret or conclude as to what may have happened or caused the executive or members of the executive branch not to be present at the event that you spoke about? Because obviously you're speaking for them, you're trying to speak for them, or jumping into conclusions saying, well, the justice minister didn't show up because he's been playing politics and stuff like that. Do you think that's a fair statement to make when you are saying, well, I can speak for other people? Did you pick up phone to call the justice minister to find out what was going on? Because clearly from what the news is showing that day, there were several events going on that day for which the executive branch was a part of that were planned. So there was clearly some clashing schedule. How did that happen? But you here drawing conclusion when it comes to the executive branch, but you want to remain silent with the other branches of government. Do you think that's fair?
Well, Jackie, that's what I said, and I think I was very clear. I mentioned the different responsibilities of the Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice is not just the title Minister of Justice. Minister of Justice is the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar. And with such a program, the opening of court, the closing of court, the sitting of a justice. Now, for example, one of our colleagues in the Senate posted an invitation that the new Chief Justice and the Associate Justice will be having a formal sitting tomorrow. I can challenge you, the Justice Minister will be there. I don't now. He's acting. The president is not here, so he's the head of cabinet, working in collaboration with the vice president. So he has even more greater responsibility now that the president is not in the country and he's here. But I can challenge you anything that he will be there tomorrow. So the point I'm trying to make, Jackie, is not just an ordinary person, and with the last set of situations between the branches of government, to include but not limited to the judicial branch of government, including the speaker's saga and the interpretation of the ruling of the Supreme Court and the different things, it was quite conspicuous that the justice minister wasn't there. And again, like I said, I'm not just talking about a justice minister. You see, like the health sector, where I know you worked the last time when in the WIA's government, the health sector, you can have the Minister of Health and you can have the Chief Medical Officer of the Republic of Liberia. In the case of the Judiciary or the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Justice is the Attorney General and he's the Dean of the Supreme Court Bar. So he has multiple roles. And for such an elaborate program, a profound, a well-established program as per the law, where the Constitution says at this age, this will happen, and the closing of a term of court, his absence, and then subsequently 2 hours later, he's at the induction of the incoming Chief Justice at the Executive Mansion, was not at the court. I think it speaks volumes, and I don't think we should do partisan rule about this. Now, you're one person I've known very well, Jackie. I have a lot of respect for you. You're a very sharp person, because even when you work in the WIA government, at the time, everything in the health sector, when you work with Councillor Dr. Jala was perfect. You told me the health system was the best. So, whichever government you work with, you praise them. So I expect you to do what you're doing on the show, but let us not play politics with this one.
Okay, Senator, but I think you're the one playing politics, not me. I was just trying to clarify. Now, my second question is, several months ago, when you and I were on the show together, you promised me something. And you told me we're going to come back in 30 days and we're going to talk about it on Spoon. We're talking about the agriculture sector. And you said you are going to put a bill on the floor to do something. Do you remember that conversation?
Very well.
Okay. Did you do anything? Because I haven't seen you on the show. We haven't been on the show together.
All right. So
it's just a follow-up.
I'm a member of the Agriculture Committee in the Senate, and there's a lot of reforms in the agriculture sector, to include a letter from Senator Nathaniel Mangale in trying to audit the past expenditure in the agriculture sector, thereby paving the way for new reforms. So we didn't want clashes in those reforms. The proposal is on hand, but once we can completely clear our decks on the issue of, we've been having a lot of public hearings on the Agriculture Committee. There are things going on. There are some positive things. There are some concerned areas of red flags, and we've been looking at those things. Once we've cleared the docket, we'll definitely introduce new reforms. But in the middle of that, it would just be a contradiction to introduce new reforms when we're trying to clear the dockets, to clear some of those laws that clash with others. So that's why you haven't seen anything but there's a lot of work going on in the Senate as regards the agriculture sector.
So can you name one thing that's your priority for the agriculture sector as a lawmaker?
Well, as you know, I'm a farmer. Fortunately, you've been on my farm. You visited my farm a lot. You know more about my farm. So you know that I am a farmer, and I'm very passionate about agriculture. Besides me being a farmer, my late father was a farmer, and I'm very passionate about farming. Matter of fact, I drove from my farm home to even in Monrovia to be on this show. What we're looking at in the agriculture sector, we're looking for self-sufficiency. We're looking at seeing how best we can increase our rice production. As you know, the issue of any country that cannot feed itself of its stable food is red flag. So the fact that Liberia still have not been able, as you know, the Libyan government spent over $30 million on farming equipment that went to FOIA. Unfortunately, it did not materialize. Those equipment turned to scrap in FOIA. We're hoping now that we can have some reforms. And the president, as you know, the president of Liberia, President Boyka, has an agriculture background. He was once a minister of agriculture. He was there at LMPC. So it's just maybe going to year 2, but we hope that he will institute some reforms in the agriculture sector that we all can follow. We're happy now he has a fish pond on his farm. His farm is expanding, but we hope that we can do it nationwide, that other farms will expand and all of that. So we hope that we'll be able to give, my priority is to give local farmers subsidies, or even in the absence of subsidies, or bank loans. The interest rate on bank loans in Liberia for agriculture or farming or agriculture sector is very high. It's 12%.
Thank you very much, Senator. We got to squeeze everybody in. We basically want to do another round on this. You said the president have a fish pond on his farm now?
Yeah, very attractive. Yeah, very attractive.
Okay. And you said Jackie worked. You said Jackie worked in which government? You said Jackie worked in which government?
Well, Jackie, I don't know if you know, but Jackie used to work with Minister Jala, the former Minister of Health. Yeah, the former Minister of Health under President Weah. And I know during her tenure there, I engaged her about the health sector, and she told me that the health sector was excellent in Liberia. And Dr. Jala, one of the best ministers in the health sector, was excellent.
Oh, wow.
The first year, the first few months. Okay. Wow. We'll talk about it.
Okay, thank you. No, I just want to be very clear. I didn't know Jackie worked in the government, by the way, in George Weah government, and I didn't know that she was.
Jackie was a very senior personnel in the office of the Minister of Health under George Weah.
I am a patriotic citizen. I love my country, and I will do anything, whether public or private.
I respect that, Jackie. Thank you very much. I can't say it's not about Jackie. You do have a question for us, let us know.
Even people who are critical against our brother into the system that the justice minister gain consultancy work. But Honor Snow, Senator Snow, thank you very much for coming. And
thank you, guys.
I have 2 questions for you, but before I go into my questions, let me appreciate your appreciation for Justice Kane. You know, he was my study mate at the University of Liberia. We did a lot of prerequisite courses together, and we lived between Capital Bypass and that of Perry Street. In fact, we were like almost sleeping together and studying together. I just hope that he will maintain a high degree of independence, but I see him to be somebody who represents the vision and dream of the young people, and at that level, he should not let the young people down. He should maintain his independence despite what the situation may be. Having said that, the issue of drugs. Drugs have become a killer disease, more than malaria in Liberia. Very destructive. Not even HIV, not even cancer. But drugs is killing people every day. There's a new drug called tension. Jokingly, Liberian people say boycott tension. The president made a public declaration declaring drugs a national health emergency. Camping Town, he spoke about rehabilitation, reintegration processes, programs, amending the laws again to fight the traffickers and that of the middlemen and all of those things. What is your chronic thought about the fight against drugs, and what would be your suggestion? That's my first question.
So, Greg, again, I always glad when I see you on the show. I think you've been most times very objective and very critical on the show, and it speaks well of our democracy. So I'm happy to see you again on the show. Having said that, yes, the issue of Justice Barker Cannon, I've known him for many years, and I know that I strongly believe that he wouldn't disappoint his generation, and we look forward to him uh, serving the law and not any particular group of persons or regime. As regards drugs, you know, when Stanton were campaigning, they made a war to believe that it was a CDC-led government that was manufacturing drugs in Liberia. That was political seasoning, and it worked for them, and they succeeded. Today, the drugs in 2024 and 2025 is far more than the drugs that have been in Liberia since its establishment, since independence.
Wow.
But we cannot play politics out of this. A few months ago, ECOWAS Parliament, for example, had a mission in Guinea, then Sierra Leone, then Liberia. The Mana River Basin right now, the studies we have from that report shows that if there is no major attack on drugs, the importation, distribution, and usage of drugs, in Liberia, if there's nothing aggressively done within the next 5 years, this region will be threatened. We might produce members of parliament or even higher officers as drug dealers or drug consumers. That's how dangerous the situation is. So I would like to depoliticize. The first thing we need to do, on Mogre, we must depoliticize the fight against drugs. Forget about who said what. Forget about which party you're in, who you support, who you don't support. But if I was the president today, I would invite all major stakeholders to include opposition leaders and have a national conversation on the fight against drugs. We must take this by the bull by the horn. The issue of drugs is eating our country, it's affecting generations, and if we just politicize this matter, it's unfortunate. Yesterday I was on Facebook, I saw the young ladies that we so much admire that mobilized this country, and everyone stood up behind them. We saw them, exchanging words. I hope that they can resolve the differences, because drugs can fight back. Drugs is very strong, they fight back. So if we don't fight drugs in this country, someone like you, Akaras, I listen to a lot of shows. I listen to people. I listen to you defending yourself that you don't take in drugs. I can publicly say, Akaras, I've known you for many years, many years. Say what you want to say about Akaras, great, but I can put my neck on the ground that I've never had a suspicion of you taking in drugs, never. So someone like you, people will play politics and accuse you of consuming drugs. Is that the reality? No. That's why I say let's depoliticize the fight against drugs and let all hands get on deck. We need to fight this like yesterday, or else our country and the West, in this region, the Mano River Basin, is going to go down the drain because it's a serious situation. And I'll just close by saying, I hope the president, when he returns, we can depoliticize the fight against drugs, call all the major stakeholders on board, including opposition leaders, and let's find a solution. How can we combat the fight against drugs in Liberia?
Okay, so my second question, honestly, you're right. I even had to tell the hospital to release my justice report of 2024 July 20 to the media. Okay, they say whether you want it, I say yes.
It's just politics. Everybody that know you don't take in drugs.
I know that's the politics of it. But my second question here on Osno is that reconciliation is a key factor for the forward march of our country. All right. The closing of the court, the retirement of a Chief Justice who committed her life and time to serving the people. People may say that's a wealth. It's an established fact There's no debate about that. But it does not presuppose that you don't have your opinion. Do you think, with the absence of these key branches of government, the legislature has been a usual routine? They send us communication individually, but at the same time, the leadership is always at the closing or at the opening, retirement, the leadership of the legislature, whether they speak or whether they protest. The executive similarly is heavily represented at these closing or opening program, retirement program. They are heavily represented. Unlike a commissioning program where the president commissioned appointed officials confirmed by the Liberian Senate, it's not a usual thing for lawmakers to go there. No, it's not usual. Because like you say, it's a political ceremony to climax the appointment. So do you see this as a slap in the face of national reconciliation, especially a hierarchical structure of the country where the three branches of government at that level? What's your opinion on that?
When I was coming to the show tonight, someone asked me to be measured, to watch my words, speak properly. So, nobody will say I say let the government fail again or something like that. People, I know there's a difference between the government and the state. People will come on, like my friends in power now, they all wish that Weah would be a one-term president. He wouldn't succeed, he would fail. But they never wish for the state to fail. So I came on this scene network and I said similar thing. I want the state to prosper, but I want the government to be one term, and it was misconstrued. I even took my complaint to ECHO. I said I want to overthrow the government, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I'll be measured in this presentation tonight so it's not misconstrued. Having said that, Omogre, the situation that happened at the Supreme Court on last Friday is troubling. It's troubling. Say what you want to say. You can hear me?
I'm not hearing anybody.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So the situation, what happened last Friday, and I sat with my friend on mobility, and we look around the hall. But what was important about that program was the 4 justices, including the incoming Chief Justice, spoke very well of the outgoing. What was touching even most was the 5th Justice, Justice Clinton Johnson, when she spoke. She spoke of the outgoing Chief Justice, in such a pleasant manner that shows that we still have a code that we could depend on. But the conspicuous absence of key members of the legislature and the executive branch of government is a rude awakening. And I think if it was, an oversight, if it was a mistake, maybe they just need to say something to the public, especially the Justice Minister. I'm emphasizing on the Justice Minister because there's somebody I've known for many years, and till today, I still have a lot of respect for him. And I'm afraid that if caution is not taken, he could allow, there are 2 sets of things you do in public administration. There are people who will do their job, and there are people who will protect their job. So if you forget to do your job and protect your job, sometimes it becomes disastrous. And I'm praying that the Justice Minister will do his job as Minister of Justice and not spend time protecting his job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable. We got a few more minutes for me to leave, but you are in good hand. I beg you. While I do this, before we get into my brother VP, because this Bible study time is when I go out there to pray and seek the intervention of God. So I'm going to be praying for you too. So please consider my absence.
Please do so.
Yeah, but I'm going to bring this in real quick. This is my last question to you. Let me ask you, and Dr. Richardson will take over the show. Give us your view on
this. Come and leave me with Dr. Richardson tonight?
Oh yeah. I got to leave with Dr. Richardson.
Wait, Dr. Richardson is Sis Jackie.
Yes, Sis Jackie, yeah.
I can't go find Musa Belede picture and put it behind me.
Wow. But let me ask you the question, though. We heard Daniel Sanders saying, if you go on the Executive Mansion website, that the president is coming back home. The president not going for the other program. and Sarah Beslo Yanti will attend that program. Let me play a little, clip on that.
President Bwaga was invited to attend the Expo 2025 in Osaka, Japan. But given how engaging the schedule is, he cannot go there. So the foreign minister, at the conclusion of the TICA meeting, will be joining the rest of the folks in Osaka to join the Liberia team to celebrate.
You see, when we're having this argument, go on the executive mansion page on Facebook. They said the president will attend both the TICA and the Expo. They said it. The executive mansion page said 40 holy men and women going along with the president. 23 in the angelical class, which of course they are closer to the holiest of holies. 23 of them. The other one are them opening the door for the angels. Let's say this. It's there. The president, what we are receiving, the backlash is too much. Look at the rate. Hey man, I wish I was stand up before I want to show something, but I got to save my sources here. $6,513 just for economy class alone. So no, you've been traveling. You know how this thing works. Just for the economy class alone. 10,000 for business. 40 holy men and women went along with the president. Now the president had to call the trip short. What say you? Is it wasteful?
And if those business class, economy class tickets, rather, if those economy class tickets were Z class or the lowest grade, when you change it, you gotta pay penalty. So you gotta add a penalty to the changing, changing the date of return. But Stanton, I think what has affected us or our government is the level of criticism to the WEA government. Everything that was done by the WEA government was criticized by our friends currently in government. For example, when we are going to the airport, official government go to the airport. I listened to your show, including you, Stanton, how the government was wasting gas. Officials were going, this and that. Today, it has not changed. I listened to you when President Weah was traveling, former President Weah was traveling. The AFL went to the airport to see him off as a last respect as the commander-in-chief of the army. Today, it has not changed. The issue of private jet was a big deal. It has not changed, And I still remember when President Weah made similar trip to Japan. The criticism on the number of delegation, the members of the delegation. Today, the membership, and my sister Jackie said, even though they're in the scene in Japan, but one group is led by somebody, another group led by the president, but they're all from the Liberian government. So that God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. So, but if you look at what happened in the past and what happening today, then there was no need for a change. And so I just think the level of hypocrisy, and our friends don't criticize. And I was joking, my friend Amarcon the other day, we're laughing about something. I think when the U.S. Human Rights Report came out, he wrote something, an article that was positive. And in all the Unity Party chat room, people were sending screenshots from it. They were praising Amarcon because he said something. But I tell my man, you got to be 100 or 100. And the day you rest on it, you critical, you go back to square one, you laugh about it. When we have a situation where people expect you to always praise them, to be praise singer, and they don't accept criticism, then you got problem. And I think that's some of the problems we have today. So the numbers in Tokyo, in Japan, I think is just mind-boggling. Liberia, actually, I listened to Taiwan Gongolo this morning on OKFM. I cannot verify the information, but Taiwan Gongolo told us the country this morning that Liberia has the highest delegation in Togo. I want to believe it, but I can't verify it. Maybe Jackie will help us with that. If Jackie add the first delegation A and B, I think A and B might come up to that. So it's serious. And like you already said, so when you started talking about the fair to Tokyo, because I travel a lot, I have the app on my phone. So I thought you were joking. So I went to the app to check from Monrovia to Tokyo, what it would cost. And I think you were in the same neighborhood. Economy class ticket is around $6,000. And if you were to do per diem for 4 days, even 10 days rather, per diem for 10 days, you're talking about another $5,000 or something like that. So you're talking about each person, for economic class, you're talking about more than $10,000. Business class, you're talking about more than 20,000. Ministers and all that.
Senator, don't go there. If I stand on with this phone, maybe they will push me and I will just put out the document to show the list of folks that went alone and how much each person received. I'm going to put it up. That's what I do, but it's embarrassing. Let's put this up. My last question, President Bwaka to lead high level delegation to TICA 9 and Expo 2025 in Japan. Executive Mansion, Monrovia. President Joseph Yema Bwaka Sr. will depart the country on Saturday, August 16, 2025, to attend the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, scheduled from August 16 through the 23rd, 2025 in Yokohama, Japan, and the Expo 2025 in Osaka, also in Japan. There's no mistake, nothing whatsoever, to say that the president never had the schedule to attend both. Today, let's listen to Daniel Sanders.
President Bwaka was invited to attend the Expo 2025 in Osaka, Japan. But given how engaging the schedule is, he cannot go there. So the foreign minister.
How engaging what schedule, Senator? How engaging what schedule is? This thing was already pre-arranged. We bought ticket for President Bwaka to go there. We paid for DSA and all everybody that going along. Will they return the people money back? How engaging is the schedule? And on that note, I wanted to say, man, I don't know. Come back tomorrow, join us. Let's have a great show. I have to go celebrate my God, and I have to pray to God for more blessing. And I want to wish every one of you well as I leave you in the good hands with Dr. Francine Special Chinua Richardson. She's going to bring in Vendetta Patrick and Dr. Fubi Henry. Again, Senator Snow, thank you. I wish I had enough time to spend with you tonight, but you're always welcome to come back. And have a good night, sir.
I wish you God's blessings, Senator. God has been really good to you, and I'm glad that you prioritize your God. That's very good. I speak very well of you, Senator. I wish you all.
God bless you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Be blessed.
Amen.
Okay, evangelist.
Look at trouble.
So let's bring in Fubi to ask your question, and then we'll go to Vandela.
Okay, so good evening, Senator Snow. So
Dr.
for
Henry,
me,
how are you, sir?
Thank God.
Good.
So for me, now, really a question. I just wanted to comment on the Supreme Court issue. For me, the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court bench, I think at some point, from my own view, they were more political at the end. The last sooner, I know sometimes we say, government should not, pay back, but the guys there also, they are human beings. So sometimes people will put their human feelings above the general interest. So when the Supreme Court, the entire bench boycotted that sooner, anticipated that there will be some kind of payback in the future. So I think looking at that and that retirement ceremony, that one of the reasons why I think the members of the legislature, a lot of them didn't attend, and also the executive didn't attend as a way of paying back. But I think in good governance, we should learn to put some of those things behind us and focus on the general goal of the country and keep moving forward. That's just a lesson for everybody to follow. And whatever position you have, learn to also take note of some of the little things that we find ourselves in, because sometimes the human feelings, we can't overrule it when it comes to people behavior. And we all want to expect people to behave at a certain high level, but the human feelings also sometimes it takes over. And the justice minister is a human being also. I know you say he shouldn't protect his job, but he also works at the will and pleasure of the president. And at that point, if they had some behind the scene meeting, and that was something that they agreed, I think he would prioritize listening to the president and than doing otherwise. So sometimes we also got to look at some of those things. When you at that level, you work at the will and pleasure of the president. So you always have some of these things to happen. We might not generally accept it, but sometimes we just have to allow it to flow. And if he didn't attend and didn't send a representation of his, then I think that way I will have issue with him. But if he sends somebody representing him in his absence, then that also can slide as being fair, from my own point of view. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Acknowledge.
Mr. Patrick's, your question to.
Yeah, good evening, Senator. Good evening, Senator Snow. So let me say my deepest sympathy to Bashu, the one you consider your son. Yes, indeed, he was a real basketball star. Prior to his death, I met him in rehab after meeting him many years. And, I had the time to really tell him you are an adult for the young people coming on in basketball. In less than 1 week, he passed. So my deepest sympathy to you and the bereaved family. So, Senator, thank you for your presentation. So my attention has been drawn. My first question has to do with this issue of drugs. The LDA asks it clearly that anyone who works in the government is mandatory to do drug tests. In fact, it should be a precondition for employment. Whether elected, appointed, whatever. As long as you work in government, you must do drug tests. Can you say here very well that the Senate, some members of the Senate are in violation with reference to no record indicating that all 30 senators prior to taking office took the drug test? Because you passed this law and you indicated clearly that anyone that works in government must take drug tests. Can you confirm here tonight that some members are in violation? Because there's no record showing that 30 members of the House of Senate took drug tests. I don't know about you, whether you did yours.
So let me start. Maybe you might want to show me the provision of that law, the exact provision of it. But while we are waiting to do that, I showed if there are, in law, you also have the regulatory arm of the law, the application and the application of the law. So now, what is the mechanism? So if the law, and all things constant and giving you the benefit of the doubt, if the law says that before you go in government, you must take drugs test, how is it taken? Under which supervision? Can you just go to one time clinic and come out tomorrow and say, yes, my result, I took drug test and I'm negative? Or there should be guidelines set. Maybe Jackie is a health expert, she might be able to help us or something like that. So I think we may want to also find a procedure. But Patrick, again, if we come down tonight to do the politics, like I said, to say, oh, senators didn't take it, so they're in violation. The violation is those who bring in drugs and consuming drugs. We need to go after them. And that is why I say let's depoliticize it. And like someone was telling me the other day, someone like me, I travel all the time. And I travel to Abuja, for example. I told somebody the day I come here, anytime I arrive in Liberia, I'll give the DEA or the immigration or custom people at the airport to go ahead to search my luggage. Nobody should be exempted from it because some of the people that are even bringing in drugs, you'll be surprised. People that are respected, at least from the latest arrests that have been made in the country. So I would say no one should be exempted. I think we have the first 5 or first 6 in the government: the president, the vice president, the pro tem, the speaker, the chief justice, something like that. But anyone else, including me, I always travel. Our luggage must be searched. We must be subjected to it, and because it's a national emergency. And if we think that there will be exemption to say, oh yeah, the person a senator, or the person a pastor, or the person that associate justice, so they can bring in drugs, who knows? Who knows? Somebody from the DA or at the information ministry on the program, the platform, or and say he accused members of the 3 branches of bringing in drugs or consuming drugs. So I think that if we need to fight this, there should be no border, there should be no hierarchy. We have to fight it. Let the politics. If your question, answering your question, number one is an entrapment, because if I tell you I'm taking it and say, oh, you're in violation of it. Now, being in violation of not taking the test and being in possession of drugs are 2 different things. In my case, I can tell you tonight, I've never touched drugs, the substance drugs. I've never touched it in my life before I talk about consuming it. But does that mean that if I travel in and out of the country, I should not be such? I should be subject to that. Everybody should be subject to that. And we should have a procedure. You come in the country. Somebody the other day sent me a quotation from South Africa, how we can bring in some dogs, sniffing dogs, to get at the airport and start. We must invest in it. Now, when the president spoke his first State of the Nation address, the president declared the war on drugs. Have we given sufficient arms and ammunition for this war? I would say no. And I'm not blaming the executive. I'm even blaming ourselves as legislators. We need to really do a supplementary budget, even if it's for the Drug Enforcement Agency alone. I'm on the Senate Security and Intelligence Committee. We are even getting reports now that the same thing that happened to A.B. Kroma and Fadiga is happening there now. They're forcing again. So drugs has their own way of fighting back. We need to get on. Look, we gotta just leave your politics. Forget about the politics in drug fight. Let's invest. Even if we have $1 million right now, and just get some of those dogs and get people here to train those dogs and feed those dogs at every major port of entry. Not just rubber feed. Every major port of entry, we have those dogs there, my brother. That would be at least a major breakthrough. People will bring it through our borders very porous, so people may bring it through other end. But at least let's start with rubber feed. Let's start with spring feed. Let's start with local tool. Let's start with bull water side. Let's go to Lofa. Let's go to, or wherever it is that we have borders, people, wherever. And let's begin to invest. This fight, Vendala, is not a Unity Party fight. It's not a CDC fight. It's not a CMC fight. It's not an ANC fight. It's a Liberian fight. Just how when Lone Star is playing, and we all wear our red, white, and blue to go on the football field to support our national team and fight for Lone Star to win. You don't care who, we don't have which player playing for which team, which party you're in. This is the same fight we need in the fight against drugs. So for me, let's depoliticize this whole thing. Let's be heads on it and go after it. No big man, no small man must be exempted. Everybody must be subject to such thorough search, and let's begin this fight. Let's bring in the dogs. Let's invest in it. Let's do it.
Thank you, Senator. Let me just clarify. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just trying to look at an instrument that you pass into law. And I do agree with you that procedures must be developed so that people will know how and where to go and get tested. So my second question has to do with what you describe as boycotting. So correct me if I'm wrong. So for me, I see the absence of the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia not attending that event, including some members of the House of Representatives and Senate, as an administrative, flaw, for the fact that it was a well-known public information that there was going to be a commissioning ceremony at the Executive Mansion where the Chief Justice, the incoming Chief Justice, was going to be commissioned along with an Associate Justice. At the same time, on the same day, there was a turning over ceremony, if I may say, because the outgoing Chief Justice was turning office over officially. So if you were the Minister of Justice, what would you have done? Because you work at the will and pleasure of the president. And this president is having an official commissioning ceremony, and you work in the cabinet. Given your role in the judiciary as the dean of the I think you just described that institution, and also Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, you work at the will and pleasure of the president. What would you have done in such a situation where the president needs you for the whole day to be by him, and you are also needed? You are also needed at the judiciary branch of government to perform certain functions. What would you have done as Minister of Justice?
So I think that you just need proper information to be able to ask the question. I'm getting feedback. I don't know where it's coming from.
Can somebody mute themselves? We're getting feedback.
So I would just need you would just need the proper information to ask that question. One of the program was 10 o'clock in the morning at the Supreme Court. The other program was 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the Executive Mansion. There was no clash in the schedule. And the person who was being commissioned was at the retirement program because he was member of the Supreme Court bench. So he was there, he attended the program, he had a reception, then from there he left. They all left together, including the retired Chief Justice. They all went now for the commissioning program. The retired Chief Justice attended that program. The associate justices and incoming justices attended the program at the mansion in support of their two colleagues now who were being commissioned. So there was no clash in the schedule there. Now, if the Minister of Justice was out of the country on major governmental matters, I could understand. But he was there. Excuse me, I got a little cold. But he was there, he was in the country, and he attended the political part of the program. But the legal side, as Dean of the Supreme Court Bar, he was absent.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So let us move to closing, and we can also just basically ask Senator Snow to close, and then also we can all do our closing so we can be out of here by at least 7:30. Yes. Senator Snow, in your closing, I did see you had a post today where you're sort of looking over a gym or a basketball court that was being built today. Can you also talk about that a little bit in your closing?
Sure. So there are a lot of exciting things I'll talk about bombing tonight if you want me to. The first thing is school is about to open. Parents are facing major challenges with helping with tuition, and it's not unique to this period in our country. It's always been like that. Just to clear the record. But what we've done as senator of the county, what I've done as senior senator of Bombing County, we created vacation job for up to 375 students in all 5 of the administrative districts in Bombing. So Bombing has 5 administrative districts and 3 electoral districts. So all 5 electoral administrative districts, we've created vacation jobs for 375 students that will work 3 hours a day for 5 days and make $5 a day. So it's $25 for 5 days. That would be 5,000 Liberian dollars in the equivalent. To just help the parents, help the students to get back to school. So we did the validation process, work with the school administration. We have to come with your last year report card to show that you are a student. The school have to verify that you're a student in that school, and then we get you enrolled. So like Todman Borough that happens to have as densely populated. Frederick, mute yourself, please. So like Todman Borough that's densely populated, we recruited like 125 students from there. Or Bajake or 50 students, Saint Darby Plantation 50 students, Clay District 50 students, Dewan District 40 students, Swemaka 40 students, Rural Sanger 25. So all our areas come up to 375 students, and then we have about 20 supervisors that are supervising the project, the vacation job thing, and they're responsible to clean their own school campuses. So they go to just brush around the school campus and government installations. So like the offer the commissioner, healthcare centers, if you have a clinic or hospital in your area to clean it up, the CEO office, public buildings, public institutions. And the students are very excited. I was there with them today. You know, they are very, very excited, especially the female. There are a lot of females, you know, that have got recruited, the young girls going back to school. So it's our way of keeping our children in school. And I'm very excited about that program. I want to just, it's my personal program project, but I was able to work with friends that were able to donate to the process. So we'll be closing on Friday. Friday, they all will get paid across, you know, to help them to get ready for the school year. As regards the basketball project, we're doing a modern basketball facility at the CH Dewey. CH Dewey is the biggest high school in Bombay County. It's the leading, if you know about Bombay, anybody know about Bombay, we know, like you from Burma, you know Bontown School. So when you say CH Dewey, once you're from Western Liberia, you know CH Dewey. So they had a basketball court there. If you saw the pictures today, some people saw it, but they don't understand the architecture, so they thought it was the old concrete, I would call it modern basketball court. You first have to do the base. So we order for his imported basketball court, the same basketball court we have at the Invisible Park or PHP. Imported, you know, it came in from China. We're going to have lights there. We're going to be fenced in. It's going to be modern basketball court for the school and the young people, basketball and volleyball. So we are now doing the base, the court itself. We are doing the base, reinforcing the base, and then by next week we start installing a basketball court. I'm very excited about it. The young people are very excited about it. So that is ongoing right now. We're also doing, there's an area in Bombay called Sakitan. Sakitan, there's a river, the Lofa River is there. It borders Cape Mount, Bapolo, and Bombay. We're building a big conference center, conference hall, or town hall, we say, in that area. Now, for the record and full disclosure, the government of Liberia in the budget made money available for every member of the legislature, senator and representative. The basketball court, the town hall, and we'll be doing a clinic in the area called Wajar. It's in Bombay County, not Kinjaw, Wajar. It's in Bombay County. Those are legislative projects. So those fundings coming from the government of Liberia. The vacation job is my personal fundings coming from me, and then those other projects, like other representatives and senators are doing in the county and in the district. That's my project through the government funded by the government of Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Thank you.
if you want to stay, you can stay around for our closing, or if you want to leave us.
Well, I got you on the big screen, so I will follow the show. I'd like to listen to Jackie, so I will follow the show from the big screen.
Okay. Don't forget.
Why are you going? Why is he going?
Don't forget.
Can we ask him one last question?
Don't forget. You can do that.
No more question.
Get a poem, Musa, the picture.
Why the senator doesn't mind?
You know, Musa.
Senator, I just want to know if you're running.
Jackie, excuse me, please. Excuse me. We're gonna do our closing to end the show because I have to leave at 7:30. We're gonna end the show at 7:30. Okay, so
maybe Jackie got a question for me, so I will stay on.
Yes, you can do that in her closing if you want to stay.
We'll still leave at 7:30. I just wanted to ask the senator if he's running.
We're doing our closing. You can do that in your closing. I just asked him to make his closing remarks, so you can please do that in your closing. Okay, we're all gonna take our turn to do our closing, and you can ask.
Okay, so that's my question, and I will do my closing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just gonna do my closing, and then I ask all of you.
Well, you doing your closing first.
I'm doing my closing. I'm gonna ask you to do your closing, then I'm gonna go to a Representative Gray, and I'm gonna go to Phoebe Henry's, and then I'm gonna go to Vanilla Patrick. He's gonna take us home. In your closing, you can ask your question. If the senator that he wants to answer, that he can answer that as well. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jackie. I just want to tell you thank you for gracing Spoon tonight. It was of course, pleasant conversation with you, and it was an opportunity for you to educate our Liberian people. Next time, please bring a picture and put that behind you.
They will tell you for early campaigning.
Whatever. But I just want to say it's also always good having you on the show. We learn a lot about the government, and I'm also thankful for the Liberian people that are constantly watching Spoon to be informed about what's going on in their country. I too am suffering from a cold, Senator Snow and the rest of the panelists. I want to thank you, panelists, for taking your time. It's not easy taking 3 to 4 hours out of your day to be here. But I must tell you that, I get a sense of how big and how important Spoon is when I travel around the world, because there's someone who always mentions Spoon to me. So I want to extend, people gratitude to you as well. Um, I also want to say that, this weekend I traveled. I was now on the show for a couple of days. I went to recruit and inform people about being Liberians, about the beauty of patriotism, how they can utilize citizens movement for change to do that. One of the things that we did was we just made people aware about the situation in Liberia, and we talk about wanting more development. And one way that you can do that development is through transformation, transforming our country, where we take our economy very seriously, and you can attach.
I saw your policy on the show Sunday night. I think I would have done better.
I'm not sure who partisan you're talking about.
You didn't watch Spoon Sunday?
I wasn't here on the entire.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't see her so represented. I can't comment on that, but I will
It was
go
an
ahead.
interesting show.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, so that's what I wanted to say. I just want to say, everyone, thank you again for being here. It was definitely a pleasure having you on the show. Jackie, you want to do your closing, and then we'll go to Honorable former Representative Gray, and then we'll go to Phoebe Henrys, and then we'll go to Mandela Patrick. Jackie?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm next, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Senator Snow, it was great and wonderful having you on today. As always, it's good engaging you. I know earlier you talked about you losing one of your sons, someone who was a son to you. And please have my sincere sympathy. And with other family members of his as well, because I know it's not easy losing somebody who's young. How old was he?
45.
45. And he was very, very young. So have my sympathy. My question for you as I close was to find out, because Musa Belete announced he's not running for representative in Saklepe district, because he's going to go for the highest seat in the land. Do you have similar plan? Are you running in 2029? If so, for what? So that's my question, I guess. Can he answer before I finish my closing? Or how are we doing it?
Sure, let me answer, and then you can finish your closing.
Okay.
Let's do that. Send it go on your screen, and then Patrick. So okay, good. Yeah. Go ahead.
So first, let me start with Bashir again. Whenever Bashir is spoken of, it gets sentimental. Bashir, like Dr. Richardson said, she knows the whole family. They're all Beaumont's people, and his sister Katia, and all of those two. They're very nice people. And Bashir, Sam Wulu and I, we joke each other. We co-parent Bashir. And then his later day, he was with Sam Wulu, former Minister of Transport, and then he was with me before Sam Wulu, Councillor Pega, Councillor Payman, rather, Otello Payman, Bill Finlay. So Bashir had been moving around with different big brothers at different times. But he was a very, very decent person, a very promising young man. He was one of Liberia's best basketball players ever. At a young age. And it's very difficult. He has a very young wife, very intelligent, smart young woman, Love, Lovetta, who is also carrying a child, unborn child, and so it's heartbreaking. But again, I want to say thanks honestly to Spoon. Since his death, Spoon has been carrying it, and we'll be contacting Spoon Business Office so that they will carry the removal and funeral live of Bashir. And we just want to encourage all of his friends to turn out. People have been very, very supportive. His young friends have turned out. The mobilization has been great. People have been making great contribution to his funeral, and we are sad, but we're happy that Bashir lived a decent life, that he's burying himself. I don't know if you understand when someone say you bury yourself. Everybody is willing to contribute towards Bashir's funeral, and it's sad, but I'm glad that he lived such a decent life that people are excited about. About it. Like the T-shirt I'm wearing is Bashir on this T-shirt. People, fighting to have this T-shirt. It's all over. People getting it, and I'm sure people will be wearing it on Friday at the funeral home. Having said that, 2029. I will be on the ballot. The only position that I wouldn't be on would be representative, but all other options are open. So you may see me on the ballot as senator, you may see me on the ballot as vice president, or you may see me on the ballot as president competing against Musa Berete.
Breaking news, you guys heard it. I'm ready for the competition, ready to take you on anytime.
But I will be involved in the 2029 elections, and all options are open. But we will
Breaking
form a
news,
very
first hurdles on.
We're not allowed the Musa Beretes and others to split the base of the opposition.
Whatever, you know how Pablo Di Vacola, you know it in Nigeria, whatever.
Senator Snow, I know you're not going to run against your buddy Musa, so I know if anything you guys will run together. But that's good. Thank you so much for answering the question.
Thank you.
So in my closing, and again, I wish you all the best at you said the funeral service, funeral home is tomorrow.
The removal is on the 29th of August, next week Friday. So we remove the body, take it to SKD for the all-night wakekeeping, and then on Friday we have the funeral service at Greater Refuge Church in Congatown.
Okay.
And then burial will be in Carisburg.
Okay. And once again, I wish you and the entire family all the best.
Thank you so much.
And so going into my closing, earlier we talked about the president's trip to Japan, so I want to just close with that, with some of the benefits, because Stanton kept asking what was the benefit of the trip. I didn't get a chance to talk
Jackie,
about
why
that.
we can't wait when the president returned, then they will give the package, they will bring the pig home. They will tell the country what they got from the trip. You want to everything is premature.
Stanton asked me though, so that's why I'm answering the question.
When the president returns home, there will be a big press conference and the package will be, unveiled.
No, but it's already unfolding on the media, so this is not anything new. I'm just reiterating it because Stanton asked. So I'm just restating what's already out there on the news. Because as we know, the president, because the highlight is his delegation, but what's really happening? How are the Liberian people benefiting? And that was the question placed here today on Spoon TV. So I'm going to close with that. The president met with the Tokushika medical group. I met them. I worked with them before. They are the same people who are responsible for our dialysis center today. And they also, we know, working with the Japanese people, our Japanese Somalia drive. So there's so many things. The president, the Toshuka Medical Group, they also help us during the Ebola time. We know the Japanese, the maternity center at JFK. So healthcare is an important component as to why the trip, the TCAT, was very, very important. The president is also going to be meeting with the Japanese International Cooperation Agency, which is equivalent to USAID. So there are a lot of good things that are going to come out of that. You're talking about scholarships. You're talking about for people, how can we foster a sustainable growing economy? These are things that are being discussed in Japan right now that will benefit the Liberian people tenfold. He's also today meeting with the Prime Minister of Japan. That information is already out there, so it's nothing new. UNDP acting administrator talking about how can we further
announcement, so charging for
the country, and so many wonderful things are coming out of this TCAT. It is equivalent to the US. It is the US Africa Summit. So other African countries,
including Japanese rice, right? Including Japanese rice.
Japanese rice. Rice is on the table, it's discussed as well. So, Japanese are good farmers. So, of course, agriculture is on the table, education, healthcare. So, all these things, technology, scholarships going to come out of Japan, and that will benefit our youth. So, a lot of great things. You're talking about transferring technology to our youth. This is a very, very important visit to Japan. And the president is going to come back with a lot of goodies. As Senator Snow said, when he comes back, his team will elaborate more on the result of the trip, but just for the Liberian people to understand what the trip is about. So I'm going to close on that and say, yeah, the Liberian people did not make a mistake by electing President Boyka, because this 6 years, the Liberian people's lives will definitely be transformed. They are being transformed. issues like the drugs, maternal mortality, infant mortality, the economic growth and development of the Liberian people. Transformation is coming. Of course, the executive branch cannot do it alone. That's why people like Senator Snow need to be on board and not be political all the time, but to see how he can support the arrest agenda for the better good of his constituents in Bombing County. And he's also a national legislator. So I would say also for the better good of all Liberians. And it's good to see Senator Snow here, who I'm sure will continue to support the president's arrest agenda so that the two branches of government can work together on behalf of the better good of the Liberian people. Once again, it's good seeing you here today, Senator Snow.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie, briefly, I agree with you. We support the agenda. We need the country to be okay. And just how you fully supported the WIA administration in the health sector and praise.
Always, I will always support my country.
Yeah. So you were very key policy maker at the Ministry of Health under the George Weah government. And at that time, you said everything was perfect.
Well, that was the first 3 months you and I spoke. I think I remember you asked me because there were a lot of promises, a lot of policies that were on the table. What is it that we wanted those to happen? And sincerely, in 2017, I was all over the radio station for JMB.
No, Jackie,
had my JMB hat on everywhere. When my candidate conceded, when JMB conceded, and I was called to serve the government of Liberia, I gladly did it because it benefited the Liberian people. And I will do it regardless of who is president, including my president of choice, JMB.
Jackie, don't be economical with the truth. You and I know each other personally, very, very personally. So I know you supported the WIA government for more than 5 years in the government, not 3 months.
What? I said the conversation that you're talking about was for the first
5 years.
3 to 4 months of the WIA government administration.
Let's start to.
For the entire regime, under George Weah, you told the healthcare sector was the best.
For me? Well, I didn't work the entire WIA government, you know that. I left.
Okay, former representative, can you do your closing, please? We'll do another show called Senator Snow Jackie Show.
Yeah, we'll try to have that show. Though I know Jackie worked in the government for nothing less than 4 years under her administration.
That's not even correct.
Yeah.
I was there at the beginning of your government.
So, okay.
And I left.
Okay, I know she worked. But the country is...
And I gladly served.
The country under this administration is very difficult. Difficult for the ordinary people, ranging from the sales of locally produced or locally consumed commodities to the United States dollars against the Liberian dollars. Inflation is high. Never has it been in the history of the country of such, with prices from the markets. So we started the show with discussing the leadership style. We started the show with the discussion of the leadership style as to whether President Boycott, I was surprised about the unfoldings in the country. I say I wasn't surprised because I'm convinced that we have worked at the legislature with both his vice president and him, and I thought that they are not the best choice, and they're going to lead this country into economic calamity and subsequent disaster. They will do nothing better than what they have done. The promises are mere political promises. Even constructions that they are carrying are political constructions that are not durable. So don't expect anything from them. Secondly, the issue of the dialysis center at the JFK, President Biden can say nothing about that because he has no knowledge on how he got there. The Japanese government didn't invite him for that. It's a fallacy, clear cut. He doesn't even know how he got there. The Somalia Drive, the freeway, is a completed deal. In fact, he was only able to dedicate the roundabout. So for anybody to go say that the Somalia draft issue is fallacious because the Japanese government is not giving anything extra for it. The deal concluded, the Senate ratified it, the House ratified it. It's a concurrent document, ratified nonsense. So to put those kind of a thing and talk about scholarship, for example, the Japanese government always giving scholarship. It's on the open secret through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So there is not a
We stopped hearing Representative Gray. He's stuck.
Can I finish for him?
So yeah, President Boycott is he went to Japan empty-handed. He will be returning empty-handed. Okay, there's no monetary value attached to anything that he brings into the country. The presidents will come and say Japan is giving Liberia maybe $10 million, $20 billion, $50 million, like they lied that the Chinese government was giving $30 billion to Liberia. You remember when you visited China. So let us stop the rhetorics. This is what is giving the government heart, and it's thing they stay in the campaign mood where they will lie to the population. If you on the ground and you just walk into the communities, if you walk to the market centers, you just took a stroll on the streets of Monrovia, the hardship has engulfed the entire country. This is very worrisome. We spoke about the issue of drugs. The president has no knowledge and no approach in fighting drugs. Nothing. There has been no achievement by this government that can be pointed to say that the government has succeeded, whether rehabilitation, whether reintegration, whether budgetary support. The entire fight against drugs is a disaster. Like Honorable Snow said, we should not politicize. It is true. But when you have a deputy accusing officials of government of being involved into drugs, it's a dangerous thing. When you have the former boss and his deputy fighting, the deputy making accusation, and there have been no investigation, I would wish that the Liberian Senate would invite the deputy and the LDEA to find out who are the government officials, because it's a grave allegation and it's very serious. When you have the president himself of the Republic of Liberia publicly parading standing and taking picture with somebody who have been accused of importing drugs into our country. The LDEA having arrested of almost 200,000 worth of drugs, according to the report. He takes a picture with the son of the president of the Republic of Liberia, and the LDA has confirmed that he has absconded the country. The public pictorial evidence we're discussing, when people were appointed as deputy at the LDA, one was working at the police station headquarters that was investigated and dismissed. These are public records. Another one was allegedly involved into drugs issue. Another one had to go to court. But they are deputies at the LDEA, and these are the concerns, and these are some of the discussion we have. So where is the country heading when it comes to fighting drugs? And I do agree, it should be void of political accusations or politics, because drugs does not belong to a particular political institution. It was being presented to the public. That's why I see people showing a job that the tension just is boycott tension, because it migrated from zombie to sparkling, and now it's tension. Under this administration, that's the migration. So let's also refer to say, since 1847, when the first government came into power in 1848, the issue of the alarming rate of drugs in the country is unprecedented, where people are dropping as if to say we are shooting guns in our country, as if to say we are in war zone, as if to say is the Liberian civil crisis or a process in Monrovia, where stray bullets were just hitting people. Okay, there's the situation. For us to sugarcoat this and act as if to say we are still in campaign mood while our brethren are dying, and the government is sugarcoating, and the president left, taking the Liberian taxpayer money with a delegation of 40 persons, okay, and leaving this country in the midst where people are dying, and saying that they're going to cut short the trade for some of them to return to Liberia. What happens to the rest of the padam? Who are they going to report it to? In what sector are they going to put it? Are they going to make report to the Liberian people? Transparency is a question under this administration. So The country is retrogressing. Whether educational-wise, the country is retrogressing. Whether health-wise, the country is retrogressing under this administration. We're not talking about CDC. You beat CDC, you took CDC from power, you said we did the West, we are the criminals, you call all rogues, but some of us, you cannot take us, you cannot prosecute us, you cannot take us to court. How do you call people criminal? You cannot take them to court. But these are the allegations. So today you cannot repeat. Doc, thank you very much. Okay, we do appreciate it, but we hope that our country will be redeemed by 2029 because these people are doing nothing. They finish. Jackie will be jumping to the next political party by 2029, 2030.
I never switch political parties. Yeah, I've always been JMB and UP. Never ever have I switched.
Former representative, thank you.
Yeah, for history of supporting
government. Government, I was UP. You know that, right?
Supporting government. So let me correct myself.
I'm a history supporting like people.
Please leave Jackie alone, please. I beg.
Jackie will be supporting the next government.
I've only been one party, one and JMB.
No problem supporting government when you support it.
I did not intend to have Jackie and former representative this show.
I was a UP working in your government. You know that.
Ruby, please go ahead, please.
So thank you. You know, it's a good show. So
guys,
Senator Snowman, sympathy on Bashi. I think you should consider passing a ballot to ATS because that way not ATS, I mean sport commission, because that way he play most of the UFO games. So instead of the SKD gymnasium, if they stay functional.
You're right, but it's raining season and it's open. So that's why we're going to the gymnasium at SKD because it's raining season and the gymnasium is closed. That's why.
Okay. Yeah,
we
so
look forward to seeing you. If you're in country, we want to see you there on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, currently I'm not in country.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's true.
Yeah. So, but on the issue of the president's trip, like I said earlier, when you attend the wedding reception, and nobody, the rest of the audience not eating, everybody will be looking at the bridal party. So when you start to serve, people will start focusing on their plates. So I think the government needs to focus on the economy so that people can focus on their daily survival and finding their food to eat, as opposed to crying on presidential trip and other stuff. Because some of those things, they might be beneficial to the country, but I think if the people are satisfied with their own living conditions, they won't mind. But once they are not satisfied, even you spend 5 hours to go out of the country, it becomes a big deal. People will raise a lot of issues about those kind of things. So the government needs to redirect our energy. The issue about the agriculture sector, that's something that the government should be robust about and see how they can get more people to focus in those directions. All the countries we run to for help, they don't run to other countries for help. So how can we redirect our energy towards ourselves? And the government has to drive into that direction. And on the issue of the drugs, like I said yesterday, gross insubordination by the deputy should not even be a focus point for discussion. The executive need to take action. When you are a deputy, even a president appoints you, it doesn't give you the right to disrespect your boss. So if the president or the justice ministry cannot take action against those deputies that are misbehaving at the LDA, they are encouraging them to keep the few at that level. At the end of the day, you're not going to succeed in the fight against drugs if you're going to have too much in-house fight amongst people that should organize themselves and do better. So that one is squarely on the lap of the president and how Representative Gracie, which the legislature should call them, but the legislature will not call them to go and do the executive job. The president needs to take that matter. When an issue happened with A.B. Kroma and Fadiga, if the president had dismissed Fadiga for being disrespectful, you will not see a repeat. But because he dismissed all 2 of them, that's why you see the next batch can continue on the same route. Because everybody thinks that they are appointed by the president. You're appointed by the president, but you have chain of command. You must follow the chain of command. Don't show disrespect to the hierarchy. And they approach the DA also following, going to community, just breaking down and entering homes. They also need to change that approach. You can't just be entering people's homes, because if they continue in that direction and they don't put into check, they might start using that stuff to also implicate people falsely. And a lot of the things the guys do at DEA, I have criticized them more. I think the government needs to focus and put some more budgetary support in the building of rehabilitation centers. Because most of the time, DEA, they're going to arrest these guys, take them to their holding cells. And after that, the next thing you see, they are released for some $20 or $30. And that becomes a regular routine. And the guys, you'll find the guys in the next ghetto again. After breaking down one ghetto, they move to another ghetto. So there is no lasting solution. So DEA will be encouraging more drugs because they also using it to make money. Because if you go arrest and raid ghetto, you take people property, take their phones, take whatever stuff you can find on them, you keep them, they come and free them for $20 or $30. You're not helping. So, like I said, if the legislature can also allocate some funding for more rehab for those victims, while the justice system is also prosecuting those that are selling and bringing them in, that's something that we can have a balanced approach on both sides. So you fighting it from all angles. You know, the issue about getting these dogs that snip at the ports and different border points, I think that's a good suggestion. If the government can invest into that, that's something that will help in the fight. And nobody should be seen as sacred. And thank you.
Thank you. CEO for the
Thank you. The only CEO right now on the platform. Wow. But it was a good show. And let me say thank you to all of the panelists who significantly contributed towards this intellectual exercise. This is the uniqueness of this process on this platform. In the midst of our diversity, we hold one thing constant. That is respect for all of people's opinion. I'd like to begin my closing by calling on the president. I'd like to caution the president. You see, Real Madrid is considered the best team in the world. People who play for Madrid, they are not from Spain. They are Africans, British, different groups of people. Because the intentionality of that club is the fact that they don't look at color. They look at competence, people who can deliver. And that's why when you get on Madrid team and you don't deliver, they give you the back door. Bring this same method into governance. All of us who are here today, one way or the other, we benefited from people. You understand? And not so much of our parents that gave all the kind of assistance that we have today. So one of the reasons why this country is underdeveloped is the idea of political entitlement. It's not a concept of nation building. When the government wins and a political party wins all our time, the same thing happened with the CDC. We were here campaigning against bad governance, administrative malpractices, as civil society activists. Who benefited? The CDC was the biggest opposition political party. The glory went to them. But when they won the election, this issue of entitlement, when you criticize the CDC at that time, they will say, "Les men are clear. So we will succeed. 24 years. We'll protect what we are made." And I used to call some of them that not because if you look at the membership of your political party is now up to 20,000, but you won an election almost 62%. Sit down and analyze where this number came from. There were competing interests. The people say, "You know what? Let's give them the opportunity to lead." Leaders must be willing to open their chest to criticism. There's a difference between criticism and hatred. And I was very disappointed all the time when people try to arm trace the statement of the senator. He wanted to make people to be this. It's not going to help us. Any leader that will lead this country start thinking about winning the next election. As soon as you forget, you take all that care of running 2029 or winning the next election, this country will be built. Unfortunately, after 2 years, you got to go for re-election. We got to protect what we made. Then there will be an attempt to scatter your agenda. It happened to CDC. And I see it happening now. It is time for this president to recalibrate, to structure his government like Madrid. It's not just about political statement. I think, yes, there are small gains that have been made. We want to recognize that. But I think there is more to be done. And it's about time when we go 2025 ends and nothing changed. Right now, youth unemployment is very high. I come in, Chief. No, I didn't talk too much. They put here for long. Oh, you want me to let the CEO too? I just looking at talk for 1 minute 58 seconds. Let me talk for 3 minutes 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm looking at the time. My phone is programmed in a way once I start to speak, I see it. So the president has to think in that direction. Secondly, yeah, you say we should not politicize the issue of drugs. But I cannot sit on the platform for us to outrightly condemn men and women, gallant men and women, those action agents, the staff at the LDA, that they're doing nothing. They are sacrificing. Every institution has challenges. The budget of the LDA is less than $6 million, but this is the signature project of the president. What I don't condone is the infight. I think the president must take steps to ensure that any act of gross insubordination, that person must be given a back door. But the deputy director for administration, when he went to Mika, I think someone mentioned that he indicted the TD branches of government. I think in my mind, listen to it. And I encourage him to continue to say, hey, this thing is a collective fight. You have the other day, just yesterday, they read a letter of the LDA. They asked Gafan for money for them to carry on other things. And we all agreed that they said there was no money. Who is trying to undermine? Is it not the executive? The Minister of Finance work for the executive. So when somebody say people are involved in undermining the fight against drugs, it's true. The house of the legislature. Why are they not increasing the money? We expect the LDA budget to be not less than $10 million. Because at the end of the day, they will give account. But look at what they put there. Less than $5 million. So this thing, in my mind, let us not politicize it. I think in my mind, members of the LDA, they are frustrated. Go to their headquarters. I want somebody to go there. That place, when you see it as if this is a place they can sell drug, the building is dirty. They now get money to rent a very good building, sophisticated. Look, I ran here in the dump site. That they play the guy LDA, where it's supposed to be somewhere very, unique. We got to be collected, and I'd like to commend those who led the campaign, the fight against drug. Honorable Snow, let me say thank you. And I led your program, your money appropriated in the budget, you're using it for the internal purpose. I'm here weeping for my country, Mike Gibby. I've told Mike Gibby in recent time, I don't know. This is not to, make your colleagues from Mike Gibby, the senator and the representative, to say they're not doing anything. But I think they need to follow suit. We want to see the money because you're appropriating $150,000 in the budget for legislative project for senator. In the recast, I'm told you'll receive $65,000. So we want to see our country being developed.
Thank you.
Dr. Francis, in my over now. So
you have talked for 2 minutes. You told me I was.
I conclude. You're playing the national anthem. You say I don't want taking your own. So as soon as I learn, and Nelson play the national anthem because right after the last speaker, the national anthem is all to play. But it was a good show. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you again. We'll talk to you later. Come back again, okay? Thank you, CEO of the regroup. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much. It was a good show. Thank you.
Come back again. Thank you.
I always want to.
Bye.
Carl, I want to see you.
That's it? I'll talk to you later, okay?
Hi, Jackie. Love you, Jackie.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. We still love you.
Yes. So
I'll come and visit your farm one day.
Again? Okay.
All right. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So like that, Richardson, and thanks to everyone for being here tonight. It's been a great show. Spoon Talk will be back on the radio tomorrow. The invitation is yours to join us. It's been a very engaging conversation today on this edition of Spoon Talk. I want to say thanks to the many of you who have been following across radio on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1, whether on Super or by means of the relays across the country. We appreciate all of you for joining us here tonight. Thanks to our partner radio stations, Trust FM in Bomi County, Premier FM in Bong, Trend Radio in Grand Crew, Radio Yaraman in Seklipi in Niva County, Bashu FM in Wiala, and all the other radio stations that are always relaying the program. We say thank you. Thanks to our online audience, those of you on Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV, we appreciate you. Sincere apologies to our Facebook audience. There was an interruption at some point. The broadcast disconnected, but we managed to have reconnected it. And I want to say thanks to all of you who made your way back after we reconnected the broadcast. Thanks to our YouTube audience as well. Thousands of you joining us on YouTube every day to watch the show. We appreciate you. I see a few of you in the comment section here, still here with us, engaging. Nathaniel K. Hill. I see Josh Morris Jr. and Philip Bala. Thank you for joining us. Hipko Kazi. Tommy Jr. Hipko says late night. The late night show will make a comeback, and we're working on it in the background. Tommy Jr., Telvin Payne. Thank you for being here with us. I see Harris, Kaye, Pata, Gabriel Boyman, Blair G. Thank you for being on with us tonight. So the Scarlet Grind, we appreciate you, and all of you joining us tonight. Please come back tomorrow as we bring you another great show. They will come your way again. My name is Nelson Collet. Have a good night and bye-bye for now.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand coming with the scroll. And your boy, right at the South.